All right, y'all, we live, man. Y'all know how we do. Shout out to Note You Did. Salute, salute. We like, yo, I know y'all waiting, man. What's good, family? Y'all know how we do. Always pushing help, wealth, better understand the self. I don't like it. I don't like it. We're going over some business, man. We standing on the business today. Salute to Note You Did. Ricky's World, what's good, family? In the building. Chat, y'all know how we do, man. We got one today. We're going over some of the trending FBA topics, man. What's good? What's good? We're gonna open up the chat. Carleon, salute, salute, fam. Yeah, we gonna dropping that dime, man. You know how we do. But man, we y'all know we got the Antoine Daniels. We also got tenderism. So we got a lot of FBA business we're gonna touch. We're gonna touch on today for real, for real. Salute. Renaissance woman, what's good? In the building. Salute, salute, family. Tethers are stressing. Bro, they stressing right now. It's bad for the tethers right now. They're getting exposed. It's a lot going on, but it's a good time. It's a good time to definitely be FBA. But what I had, Black Alpha and 125th podcast club. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the chat. I'm gonna definitely open up the chat. No, Mama Lisa in the bit. I ain't see Mama Lisa. Wait, where Mama Lisa went at? That big family. Salute, salute. Yvonne in the house. No, I didn't see Mama Lisa. Don't tell me Mama Lisa came in. Mama Lisa ain't been feeling too well, man. So yeah. But yeah, y'all, we finna get it in, man. I'm finna go over some of the FBAs, especially the ones that hold me down. My boy Introvert Rockstar, man. Always shouting me out. You just speaking just in case, for real, man. That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So this been trending though about tenderism guy. A lot of people feel like he been getting robbed, man. We're gonna go over that. I want to get what y'all think about that. Do y'all think
edit, and share your content all in one place with Riverside?
Ownership. Like that limelight.
My brother's favorite. I'm gonna try and do it.
Like the limelight.
Is that right? Is that how I do it? Is that it? Destination. You already know. One of the names.
Yeah, we gotta put tenderism on, man. This ain't. Y'all see this? Don't nobody want to see this dude, bro. All in one place. What you mean, Notre Dame, all in one place? What you mean? Let me get I'm saying, dang. That's
As my brother said, take a little bite. Actually, I want to get some meat and some fat. Now, together, for me, that's it.
Salute. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you already know what I say. Make that make sense. Like your boy said in Django, I couldn't resist. I had to make a part 2. Keith Lee, he tried to give Mr. Walter Johnson $4,000. I know y'all remember from that video. He tried to give him $4,000, and they told him no. He couldn't even talk to Mr. Walter Johnson while he was there. He couldn't even give him the money, bro. And that told me everything I needed to know. Why didn't they allow Keith Lee to give him that money? Because look, Keith Lee knew what was going on. Look, if Mr. Walter Johnson was really being treated fairly, being treated right, because like I told y'all, everything was his idea. The restaurant, the food, the slogans, everything was his idea. If they was treating him right, treating him fairly,
yeah, man,
Mr. Walter Johnson would be pulling up to that restaurant in a Corvette. He would be pulling up to that restaurant in a luxury car, a sports car, whatever. I don't want to hear that stuff. He's too old. I don't want to hear that, bro. If he was being treated fairly, he would be pulling up to that restaurant in a Corvette, bro. You know how much money they made from promotion and marketing on just TikTok alone, not Facebook, not Instagram, not YouTube, TikTok alone. You know how much money he brought in from just saying tendernism? One word. All those videos that he made, do you know how much money that he brought in? And you know what really messed me up, bro? Because they made another video together trying to explain, because now people see through it. People see through the cap because your boy want to be in all the videos. He want to make corny jokes. He want to make it seem like, oh, yeah, I'm the top dog. This is all my idea. No, we know that everything is because of Mr. Walter Johnson. And this was hard to watch. Run the tape.
Let me get this straight. Me and him, boy, we gonna ride the house like road trip. I'm out of here.
Hey, listen, this is all it's about. It's not just about love. That's how people get kind of confused with what's going on here. This is about both of us knowing that this situation that we're both in now is bigger than we ever expected. We know what it means. It's more about food. It's a social thing now. And we're just doing the best we can to provide the greatest experience inside, at the same time opening up people's minds to what it could really be. Because no one expected a young gentleman like him from the South would work with some city slicker from New York doing barbecue together. It was never a plan, but it's been a lot of fun. People on the other side of this camera, Butcher Bill, who's filming, we couldn't do it without him. There are so many great people involved in this. So this guy's a blessing. There's no way around it. No one can be like him on camera. He has brought so much attention to our restaurant. What am I supposed to do? You want me to get in there and bore you to death? But every once in a while, I can play the straight man and explain the food.
Hey, look, we better cut this short. Oh, no. Hey, look at here. This Destination One the Nation. And let me tell you something all the time. In the southern part. Booyah. Hey, come on.
And you know something? It's one thing I learned about Caucasian people. We got a lot of raccoons that do it now because they took their notes. They learned from Caucasian people, racist Caucasian people. They learned from them. This is what they do, bro. A lot of times they get our people with religion.
Boy. I gotta hit my man.
They get them with religion. That's how they sneak in. That's how they steal. That's how they lie. Even when they went to Africa, they brought the Bible. They brought religion to steal. While you praying, they stealing. While you praying, they building generational wealth. They throwing you crumbs. They building wealth. So that's why I feel like a lot of people, especially black people, black Americans, we see through the BS. We see that Mr. Walter Johnson is getting played. I don't want to hear about he's too old. Oh, you don't know his story. You don't. No, I don't want to hear that shit. He should be pulling up to that restaurant in a Corvette, just like they do. Everything was his idea. That's why I'm so hard on these black pastors, bro. And shout out to Drewski, bro. He did a video, he did a skit about, these black pastors, and they only care about money. But they learned that from these racist Caucasian pastors, Joel Osteen. They learned that from them. So that's why I'm always going so hard on them, because they always taken from our people. They're not putting real information out. They feeding our people hope. They're not building nothing. They got all these luxury cars, these mansions, but we ain't got no black hospitals. We ain't got no black Wall Street. We ain't got nothing. TD Jakes, we ain't got nothing. But he can go on Cam Newton podcast and try to talk down on Cam Newton or try to talk down on black men. Like, why black men are not getting married? Dude, you was with P. Diddy. What are you talking about? Diddy had his head on your shoulders, on your chest. What are you talking about? You can't gaslight us.
Salute to the real, man.
You can't teach us nothing. You was hanging with Diddy. What are you talking about? These people crazy, bro. All they care about is money. But it started with racist Caucasian people, bro. And we see through that owner. He don't care about he probably care about him, but he go feed him scraps. Mm-hmm. He ain't getting them what he deserves.
He gonna feed him scraps for sure.
And when dude said, I'm a slick city talker, that told me everything I need to know, bro. That told me everything I need to know. And what Scarface say? Chico is in the eyes. Mm-hmm. Pay attention. After this video, go back and watch when he was talking, the Caucasian dude. Go back and watch the whole time he was talking. He's not talking like I'm talking, looking in the camera, his head down. He came and looked Mr. Walter Johnson in the eyes, bro. Look at it. Look at it. He came and looked him in the face for 3-4. He can't do it. He looking down. He looking around. Bro, we don't believe that. We see right through that. And that's why people are mad and angry, because we see through it. At first, everybody thought that Mr. Walter Johnson owned the restaurant. Come to find out, he don't even cook the food, but everything in that restaurant was his idea. Matter of fact, it wouldn't be no restaurant without him. Now, a lot of y'all might think I'm crazy. I go too hard for my people, but it is what it is, bro. If you study your history, you will see why. Mm-hmm. And look, I'm not the perfect person. I'm far from perfect, but I'm not going through life creating content and talking about goofy shit. I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
Big facts.
I can't. But go back and study your history. You will see why I'm going so hard for my people. These people been stealing from us. They've been stealing all our ideas, bro. Non-creative, racist Caucasian people, bro. They don't create anything. They sit back and
this is why I make it a point that we gotta expose them, because unfortunately, when the streets dried up, a lot of the real ones got on this internet now, and we're understanding that, a lot of the people that's on the internet and that these big companies want to contact, they're squares. They don't stand on lineage business. So it's a good time to be standing on the business right now for the culture, because it's a difference, like when I hear introvert, when I hear Black Alpha, when I hear some of these dudes, I understand we're different. It's a different cloth. It's cut from a different cloth, how we coming, and it's starting to stand out. And people appreciate that more, because, just because a lot of these people can talk real well and sweet talk you and get on, they think that that's talent, but they don't have that common sense, that just realness about them from the ancestors. And that's what's taking off right now.
They steal and they create generational wealth. That's why I'm always talking about gatekeeping everything that's for us. Gatekeeping. You don't need to sign to a record label. You got a small food truck. If you have a small food truck, you don't have to, I have to cross over. No, people are going to support you. They're going to come to you. You don't have to sell your company to a bigger company, because guess what? While you get that quick money grab, they build a generational wealth.
Why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Why?
With Monday.com's.
You thinking about you, they thinking about their bloodline.
Big fact.
So that's what we got to get into, bro. These people done trademark tenderism. But telling us, somebody told me, did you see Willie D interview. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching anything where a Caucasian man is talking longer than 3 minutes. I don't believe nothing they say, bro. I don't care.
Straight up,
I don't believe nothing they say, bro. If they talking longer than 3 minutes, it's all lies, all caps. If you go back and watch the interview, Mr. Walter Johnson was just sitting back, like, quiet. That told me everything I needed to know, bro. Everything I need to know.
And shout out to this brother, man. This brother really, like, he the one who shouted me out on his channel, man, when he was growing. I ain't even know he was peeping me. He always tap into the channel too, man. So this, like, you know, since we've been linking on Instagram, man, it's been like a real blessing to just be linked in with bro. But yeah, man, I rock with him real heavy.
They not paying that man what he deserved. He's not a real partner. If he was a real partner, he'll be pulling up to their restaurant in a Corvette. And I ain't pocket watching, but man, we know they making that bread from his work. Now you go to their Instagram account, the Caucasian owner.
3 minutes.
He's all over the videos now. You barely see Mr. Walter
at all.
You can't make this shit up, bro.
At all.
You barely see Mr. Walter Johnson in the videos. So we gotta learn from this. The solution is we have to learn from this, bro.
Definitely gotta learn from this. We gotta understand the power of our own people, what we got, because there's no way, man. They've been using our faces on products for so long right now. Like, we've been going through this for so long that it's like we have to do something for us, man. They done trademarked the name, but now, even though they trademarked it, it don't got no value to us no more because the people who got it. See, we living in a time right now where, like, you could be slick and do slick stuff, but the best way is to really do straight honest business, because now it's more exposed, and now we ain't gonna mess with the word tenderism unless it's with because that's who we salute. And so all of that trying to get over on the people, that ain't happening no more. People gonna stop supporting dude if they don't feel like the people who's supposed to be getting benefited is not.
We have to gatekeep our ideas, because, like I say, these people, they go take your idea, they go run from it because they don't create nothing. We saw this all throughout history when it came to music. Elvis, the Beatles, all of them, they stole from us. Mm-hmm. We created every genre of music. We created every genre of music. And now they're telling us hip-hop is dead. No, hip-hop is dead for y'all. It's alive in the hood. It's alive in the projects. It's dead for y'all. And that's a good thing.
Right. So they can stay out. They can stay out of our stuff. See, we got to start gatekeeping. No more record deals. You can't sign record deals. And we have to be able to own it culturally. Because that's what they do, man. They be owning stuff for their, for the whole culture, be taking advantage of it. Again, white corporations come with that big. Yeah, they gonna bring the sellouts. That's the thing that hurt us, bro, is the sellouts that they push in front of us. And we gotta be so busy going through it with them. It's like we can't just have a free, and we always gonna have some people that's gonna be look like us, that's gonna try to deter the movement. Shout out to my boy, man, Introvert. Always, yeah, man. We putting the real one. We saluting the real ones in this one, man. You ain't standing on business like that, like the ancestors. Shout out to Black Alpha Network. I ain't even putting you on this channel no more, man. If you don't stand on real lineage business, that's the only people that's gonna get. Yeah, we ain't doing that no more, man. We can't be having these half steppers, but we got Brother Black Alpha, man. Check it out. Let's get it.
Hi, my name's Ramona. I'm from Chicago, and I'm white. I'm working with Chicago Flips Red, which was started by 8 Black American Chicagoans who were sick and tired of being taken advantage by the Democratic Party.
Family, we know all about Chicago Flips Red. Go ahead and get to the point on it.
Okay,
don't talk to us like we don't know nothing.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I just
go ahead.
let you know where I'm coming from. So I'm a little concerned. I don't think they're foolish enough to go to the South next. I mean, they might be, but that would be a huge mistake. I think they're going to warm up to come up to Chicago next. They're doing a big pro-immigrant protest here. About 19 aldermen here that are very, very supportive. And I think that's where they're headed next. I could be wrong. I don't know. Just some points I wanted to throw in here. I was just enjoying listening to you guys.
Let me ask you a question. You said that they're not going to go to the South. Why do you think they won't go to the South?
I think because of what you're saying, the militias and the sheriffs in the South are very proactive. The sheriffs let a lot of shit slip in the South that they want. Like we have Tom Dart in Chicago, and they have, they just have a bunch of complicit sheriffs in the blue cities and up north. I don't think that's the case anywhere in the South. I mean, they might try to make a point in Florida. I think that'd be a huge mistake. But the smaller Southern communities, I think that's an even bigger mistake. I mean, they're going to get their asses handed to them if they try that there, I think.
Now, let me ask you, since you're a white woman, clearly, what is the anti-Hispanic, anti-immigration stances that you hear from the white community, rooted out of racism? I'm not saying
not near enough.
Let's talk.
We have nothing but crazy white liberals, pretty much, on the north side of Chicago who see helping the poor illegal immigrants the same as they see helping the Black community. They don't decipher between Black and brown, and that's partially because of the media constantly running that narrative. Black and brown, Black and brown, Black and brown. They have shoved all the shelters in Chicago into.
Y'all see what we keep gotten to go with? Like, we the only people that get grouped up with everybody else, knowing we not everybody else. Y'all see how that works? They always do that. Like, that was always weird to me. Like, Black and Hispanics, Blacks, and it's always us with somebody else. It's like, it's weird, bro. Call dog, what's good, family? Sheriff have real power. But yeah, let me let them go.
The Black neighborhoods, they have hardly put any up here because they don't want people to get a realistic view of what is going on. So they just keep shoving the narrative. Oh, if you're against immigrants, then you're against Black and brown people. Where the Black people here have been shouting from the rooftops that we want them out of our community. We don't want this shit. So the white people just are oblivious in the city.
No, I asked you about white people, but you gave me a political side. What about the conservatives? I'm talking about the white community as a whole, because there's a lot of times when we mention the white community, it gets put in the boxes of like liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. And that gives the notion that white supremacy is only relegated to one side, which I know it's not. So can you tell me about all white people, like your community, not a liberal, conservative, a Democrat, Republican? I'm talking about the greater white community beyond a political perspective.
Are they more accepting of Hispanic? Is that what you're asking?
No, like, what are the racial sentiments that you've heard white people say about Mexicans? And I am a Black man, and I've heard a hell of a lot of racial sentiments said towards Mexicans from whites. So I know you've heard them growing up. So what did you hear? What's the main course that you've heard in terms of how white people, your community, feel about Mexicans and Latinos and illegals as a whole?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of interaction with anybody except people in Chicago and the north suburbs. And most of them we live in very mixed neighborhoods, like the people that I know. So you don't hear a lot, except that in the suburbs, the suburban white people that are friends of mine, they are really getting tired of the immigrant altogether, the immigrants. So I'm not hearing that, maybe in the South it's different. Here, we don't have a lot of racial problems. It's like racial commentary. It's more of the monetary commentary.
Man, I have to disagree. Dr. Martin Luther King said Chicago is the most racist place he's ever been to. Chicago is very rooted in racism. If you can back and look at Dr. Martin Luther King when he went to Chicago, it looked like he was in Mississippi. Like Chicago is a very
that was during Old Man Daily though.
Well, think about it. All those people had kids and they still live there because Chicago hasn't had the reverse migration. Those people ended up going to Chicago. No, it hasn't been that long of a time. It hasn't changed. And by the way, I know people from Chicago, and I'm from 4 hours east of Chicago, so I'm not speaking as somebody who doesn't know Chicago. And the Chicago that I know is separate from the Chicago in which you're presenting. Okay, Chicago is a very, very racist place. As a matter of fact, Chicago is the most racist place in the entire Midwest, and it hasn't changed or gotten any better at all in Chicago. You can look at every single thing in Chicago, and how come the white community typically always brings up Chicago whenever they're trying to use Chicago as a proxy for black criminality? That's rooted out of racism. So that's a lie. That's a lie that you don't see racism in Chicago or Chicago's gotten any better. No, it has not. And I'm boldly telling you that that's a complete lie. Chicago is absolutely positively a racist place. So is Detroit, a very absolutely positively racist place. And it sounds like you're dumping it off onto the South. Me being someone who grew up between the North and the South, I can tell you. So when I ask you questions about how the white community feels about immigrants, I don't want you to give me an answer that's catering to white supremacy's gone, because it sounds like what you're trying to do is use us as a proxy for you not liking immigrants as well, but you still don't want to indict the white community based on their racism. So basically, in other words, translation, you're still running interference to protect whiteness. And that's disingenuous, very disingenuous. And I won't stand for that. If you're going to call out immigrants, then you need to also call out white supremacy, because one thing we've had a conversation in this whole space is that the immigrants are here unlawfully, but they're also dealing with white supremacy who does not view them equally. And there's no ordinance between liberal or conservatives. They both practice white supremacy, just different tactics. So I want you to be honest about the racism in the white community. And that's why I asked you that question, because there's this thing where liberals come to us and they want us to be recruited for their version of white supremacy. And then conservatives come to us and they want us to be recruited for their version of white supremacy. But they're both practicing supremacy and they're both trying to use us as a catalyst for it. So I want you to be very honest about Chicago.
All over your page, there's MAGA. So you're contradicting yourself. I'm just saying you're contradicting yourself. You're saying you don't talk to a lot of people outside of your city and things like that, but MAGA is a majority in Chicago. We know for a fact that not only Chicago, but Illinois is a majority blue state. So by saying things like what you said, and then we look at your page and it's the complete opposite of what you're saying, I'm kind of confused of why you think we should even listen to your opinion.
Do you think MAGA is racist?
No, wait a minute. I got that answer. Yes, MAGA is very, very racist. And you're talking to a black man who attended 2 MAGA rallies. I went to 2 MAGA rallies because they are actively participating in white supremacy, equal to regurgitating white supremacist talking points, and also enacting racist policies and supporting racial segregation and racial spite vitriol towards black Americans. Is that clear?
What I mean, I'm looking for examples. I that's a great statement. But
I can give you examples. Me as somebody who's attended them, I've actually seen people who are open MAGA supporters consistently use the N-word consistently, and these people are different. Yeah, okay means that they are racist. Actually, that's OKKK. I've seen down here in the South people who are racist and who harm, threaten, and abuse black Americans while at the same time having MAGA flags waving in their yard. I've seen all those things, and also online, I've seen people who are MAGA supporters who call black people monkeys and tell black people to go back to Africa. So I gave you the social media version and the personal version, which I've seen.
I've seen that online, but
no. So I've given you examples and I've answered your question. What makes them white supremacists? And I gave you social media. I gave you real life. I gave you physical harm. I gave you mental abuse, and I gave you verbal abuse. So I don't know how much more racist can MAGA be. So do you believe that MAGA is racist?
Not everybody involved in it, no.
I didn't say everybody was involved in it. I'm talking about the majority and not the minority. I didn't say everybody. I said a lot of them are.
Okay.
And I think enough of them are.
I don't have experience with the majority. I haven't been to MAGA rallies. I have been working 2 jobs to help with Chicago Flips.
I understand that. So basically you're unqualified. So I am actually the superior of knowledge on the situation because I have been around a lot of MAGA people from the North and the South. I have attended MAGA rallies and I have been witness to the racism. So you're unqualified in this conversation to speak on the racism in which MAGA actively promotes. And it's funny that you say that you are not able to speak on behalf of MAGA, but didn't you just speak on behalf of the whole city of Chicago? I have exorcised the demons. I mean, goddamn, you spoke on all of Chicago, but you can't speak on MAGA. So you have the ability to speak on all of Chicago when you're downplaying racism, but you have the non-ability to speak on MAGA when you're trying to provide protection. You can't speak on behalf of every citizen of Chicago, but you can't speak on MAGA and their open white supremacy. That is a direct contradiction, one you probably thought I wouldn't catch, but I'm too quick. You got to be faster than that.
I wasn't speaking on the entire city of Chicago.
Well, you said Chicago wasn't racist, so yes, you were speaking on behalf of Chicago.
Was very segregated, and
Family, did she not say Chicago was a non-racist place? Y'all heard it. Y'all heard her say Chicago is not racist like that. You heard, and then you relegated it to the northern suburbs. So not only did you speak on Chicago as a whole, you actually pinpointed the exact position where racism exists. So you were very scientific with who and what and where and why Chicago is racist, but you're not specific with the who, what, when, where's, and why's about MAGA. So you're contradicting yourself. And where I'm from, we call contradiction a lie, especially when someone's trying to highlight white supremacy in a good way, but yet trying to lowlight white supremacy in a bad way.
White supremacy is never good. I'm not trying to highlight it in a good way.
My brother Black Alpha, real quick, I'm going to let you finish grilling this woman, but she may be MAGA because of the fact that she don't like the fact that Elon Musk and Donald Trump got into their little span and all this other stuff. And when you look down her whole page, that's what you're going to see. So I just want you to say it with your chest and stop playing with us like we don't know or we're not intelligent enough to find out that you're actually a part of that whole anti-Black situation there. Continue.
What anti-Black situation with Elon Musk? What are you talking about? Really? What anti-Black situation?
Ma'am, let me say this. Ma'am, you playing around is not disturbing us. It's really making you look foolish. There used to be a time where people like you would play games and I don't know what, when, where, why. I didn't say what I just said. And Black folk would get frustrated. Now, really what you're doing is you're embarrassing yourself because when a grown person acts like they didn't say what they just said a couple minutes ago, and when a grown person thinks that they're going to say something that 370 plus people just heard and act like they didn't say it, that's not embarrassing to us. That's embarrassing to you.
I don't understand.
So you're going to have to be honest. Well, I understand. And I understand that what you're saying isn't accurate and what you're saying isn't adding up. And you playing dumb and silly and you don't understand. These are your words, ma'am. You stated all these things and all I just did was quoted what you said verbatim. And I poked holes in every single line which you thought you presented. And I did it very calmly. So as you say you don't understand, I understand. As you say you've never been to a MAGA rally, I've been to a MAGA rally. As you say you don't understand Chicago, I understand Chicago. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 why I know what I'm talking about, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 why you're embarrassing yourself. And it's not good and it's not healthy. You say you're Ramona Health. Well, you're not being very healthy, Ramona.
It's Heath, and I've lived in Chicago for 40 years, and I have a lot of experience in this.
Okay, well, you just told me that you can't speak on a place that you've lived for 40 years?
No, I can speak on it, but I can't speak on every
just a minute ago you said you couldn't.
And I can only speak on my
a minute ago you said you couldn't. You're flip-flopping, ma'am. Ma'am, you're flip-flopping.
Okay. I joined to listen and talk.
Okay. Yes, you did. You did talk, and now I'm talking. And when a Black American's talking, you need to listen because I'm educating you. And what you need to do is take this lesson in which I'm providing you. So maybe next time you won't say that so abundantly clear and embarrass yourself in the process. I'm only doing the teaching, can't do all the reaching, but we in here preaching. You know, like I know, that Chicago is extremely racist. And you know, like I know, you understand every single thing I'm saying. You're just too cowardly to admit it. And you know, like I know, that you're trying to recruit us for your political version of white supremacy's ways, but we are not willing participants to be pawns in your game. We don't play those games. We're not out here to fight for anybody's other rights. What we're doing here is that we're focusing on our.
Now y'all see why the points they was giving with your boy Unamazing Lucas and Antonio Speaks. They hit us with we're like an alt-right. or we the CIA. It's the same talking points. So what y'all see with Tucker Carlson is they're trying to use us. What they don't understand is that we're unusable. We don't get down like that. We don't play we making fun of people who are in politics. We sitting back and making fun of all of the people that's playing this political game, thinking that, they're getting any recognition from the real ones from it, because they're not. So it's like, even trying to come at us is like weird. Like, we ain't going. Let me let them rock.
Ourselves. And you're not going to win some type of brownie points with us by coming down on illegals. We don't rock with illegal invaders. We don't rock with white supremacy, whether that white supremacy is in the north, south, east, or west, whether that's in the Chicago suburbs or the Chicago projects. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying is true, because you just admitted that you lived in Chicago for 40 years. And if you lived there for 40 years and you have a newspaper, then you've seen all types of the racial segregation and all of the anti-blackness. You ever heard of a guy named Laquan McDonald?
Yes.
Okay. Was that based on white supremacy or not?
I think it was based on probably. I don't know Van Dyke's mental state.
Well, exactly. You just admitted to me that I'm right. 16 shots was how many times our brother was harmed. And it was clear that that was supremacy. And family, I want everybody to notice that, first off, it took her 10 seconds to answer that. And then she gave me another maybe. Ma'am, all I'm hearing is maybes, I don't knows, I don't understands, and I don't believe you. And neither does anybody in this space. And this is what you call a strategic and methodical breakdown of a supremacist female who is trying to fool us like this is the African American, but we are certified Black society and the foundational Black American. I want all my brothers and sisters to take notes of how you can calmly, easily, very smooth, get these people to trip over their own feet like their shoes are tied together. You know about racism. I know you know about racism. You know that you're trying to fool us. I know you're trying to fool us. And none of that.
I'm trying to fool you.
And we also see with these influencers, y'all, like I'm giving y'all the names of these guys. We know you're not just saying the CIA for no reason. If you say you the CIA, you was sent. If you use that rhetoric against us, like all of this that they try to pin with us, is negative. Just like I played that video when Bobby Seale was like, they was trying to talk down on him and Huey P. Newton. They've been doing this, using the media. That's why Bobby Seale said you got to be able to see through the media. And we seeing through the media right now. We know that they don't control the narratives no more. So
I'm just trying to learn.
If you were trying to learn, then you would be agreeing with me because I'm teaching you right now. You're the student and I am the professor. Have a seat. All right. Class started 15 minutes ago and you're talking when you should be listening, ma'am. Well, the professor teaches and the student learns. And I've never been to a college where the student is over talking the professor. So as you just admitted, and by the way, I'm using your words. You said you're here to learn. Well, here, I'm going to give you a teaching. I'm going to teach you how to learn about Black Americans not being bamboozled, not being hoodwinked, had, or falling for the okie doke. And I'm going to teach you that Black Americans in this generation, the reparations generation, we don't give a damn if white supremacy is on the right, if white supremacy is on the left, or white supremacy is on the center. We don't care if white supremacy is done by a male, if it's done by a female. We don't care if white supremacy is done in Atlanta or white supremacy is done in Chicago. White supremacy is white supremacy, and we reject it wholeheartedly.
And this is why they try to make this movement political. Like everybody is trying to politicize our movement. Okay, the left just know they can't because they Black and we can't hold these. We can't control these ones. We just can't do it. We got to do it. We got to do it discrediting them. We have to, tear down their recognition and their credibility. That's why they doing it. The right seem like they trying to they think that they can come at us other than what we talking about, what we want, and thinking we're going to come and do anything. We going to do the same thing with anybody. We want tangibles. We want our reparations, land. We need, we're going to come at you with the real things that we need. If we're not talking about that, we don't want nothing to do with politics. So that's why y'all be seeing a lot of people talking about we All right.
Service the same way that I'm rejecting your excuses right now. Now, you have been taught by Professor Alpha, and you got to take this back to your community and let them know times are changing and foundational Black Americans ain't playing. Do you agree with me?
Not 100%.
100%. You're out of here. All right, everybody. That was fun.
Like that. Y'all see, listen, we got to talk to these people, bro, and really educate them and let them understand we ain't stupid. We really got to, so they can hijack. Yeah. But they do be trying to play crazy. But salute, man, the Black Alpha Network, man, for holding it down. Introvert. The real ones, the ones you could tell to cut from the cloth, man. Cut the check and F off. Shout out Rosin. For real, they're gonna be cutting the check. But we had Candace Owens was pleading to Black people. I'm gonna get in on that. Trying to tell Black people that, white supremacy ain't all that bad. It's the little hats. We have to play dumb when it's convenient. Yeah, we do. But you know what? We tired of playing it. We tired of look, we got to start checking these people. They come at us trying to talk, man. No, look, we know what the real is. They coming. Herschel Reed, what's good, family? Mr. John. Mr. John in the building. But y'all, you can't make this stuff up, man. Can't make this stuff up. Check this out. I'm gonna open up the chat too, man. We got everybody in. After this, I'm finna open up the chat so we can get in on it. I want to hear y'all opinion. Let everybody talk. I want to hog up the mic. But I gotta get this. I gotta get this Candace Owens, man. Gotta get Candace Owens, man.
Social media.
Definitely not qualified. Remember, this woman has been saying that it's like, okay,
the FBA brother. Let me see what his name is, man. Tyreen.
Time I've talked about the Coonstress, and maybe that's for good reason. But there's been things that she's been saying that it's like, okay, that has nothing to do with us, so why should I intervene? And right now she's on a kick where she's basically fighting with everyone else that's not involving us. Until I came across this clip right here. Now, I don't know when this clip was made. It could have very well been recent. And this is one of those times where I have to say something about what she said. So I'm going to go ahead now and insert the clip. It's only about nearly 40 seconds long. Listen to what she has to say, and then we're going to break it down.
Contract lords. I challenge Black Americans to wake up to your true history, because your quarrel is not with white men. Okay. Wake up to who publishes these books and keeps us warring with one another. Christians versus Christians, right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport. Okay. Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but it's there and you can find it. I think all of us need to wake up to this, because it's.
So y'all just heard what she had to say. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and break the video apart and insert what I have to say, just so I'm not mixing or messing my words up here, because she just basically said a load of BS, but that's not surprising coming from her. So I'm going to go and run it back, but then I'm going to now interject where I feel she really messed up on a lot of the stuff that she said.
Contract lords. I challenge Black Americans to wake up to your true history.
Let's start with that part right there where she says she challenges Black Americans to wake up and know their true history or our history. First of all, Candace, we do not need a lecture from you about what our history is. And if Black people don't know their history, they can more so learn it from someone who's more qualified to teach it. And you are definitely not qualified. Remember, this woman has Caribbean roots, and she's speaking as if she is Black American. She's never even claimed Black American. I rarely ever hear this woman even call herself Black unless it benefits her in some way. Remember,
this is what delineation is doing, guys. Delineation is making people want to talk to Black Americans. They have to try to get a hold of us, y'all. People don't understand how this is political. Like politically, they have to get a hold of us because the influence to other people is so strong that if you don't control these people, it's gonna be hard, bro. It's gonna be everything can fall. So we're seeing these attempts to get all of your high-profile influencers, your content creators, and now they gotta try to act like they gotta speak to us, like they gotta try to like thinking that they hold any weight to us. Y'all don't hold no weight with us. We don't care about none of them. They never been doing anything. Now it's a lot of grassroots people coming up and they trying to talk to Black Americans.
remember, this is the same woman who last year had her so-called Blackest Week ever when she decided, oh, I'm going to go on the Breakfast Club and Joe Budden's podcast for like 2 or 3 weeks and then try to ingratiate myself back into Black society, even though she was never over here to begin with. And then she hopped and skipped her way back to Ben Shapiro over at the Daily Wire. And not even a month later, she ended up getting fired. And now she's on this new crusade. So if we need to take any lessons about Black American history, it definitely wouldn't be from the likes of her.
Because your quarrel is not with white men. Okay. Wake up to who publishes these books and keeps us warring with one another. Christians versus Christians, right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport.
Now, this is the part that I really couldn't wait to get in and break down, because she said our issue isn't with white men and that white men weren't responsible for.
She said it wasn't a white man's sport. Do you hear this woman? This is ridiculous. Let me let man go off. At least dance and wear her own hair. I respect that, but she a clown. Yeah, she a clown.
Slavery, our issue wasn't with white men. I cut it, what she said and who she's about to pivot the blame on, but we're gonna get to that too. So I went to ChatGPT and just simply asked, did white American men oppress Black Americans? And it says yes. White American men as a dominant social and political group did oppress Black Americans, especially from the founding of the United States through much of the 20th century. And here's a clear factual breakdown. Slavery, 1619 to 1865. Enslavement of Black people was legal and enforced by laws written and upheld almost entirely by white men. Enslaved people had no legal rights and were treated as property. After slavery, segregation, and discrimination. After the Civil War, many white lawmakers and officials created Black codes and later Jim Crow laws. These laws enforced racial segregation, denied voting rights, and limited economic opportunities for Black Americans. Violence and intimidation. White-led groups and individuals used violence like lynchings and race riots to maintain racial hierarchy. Law enforcement and courts often failed to protect Black citizens or hold perpetrators accountable. And political economic power. For much of the U.S. history, white men controlled government, courts, land ownership, banks, and major businesses. And this allowed discriminatory policies like redlining and unequal education funding to continue for generations. And all of that is still felt to this day.
Why waste another summer not loving your body?
Space 44, we turned that question into a...
I want to hear what y'all think.
So right there, Candace just blatantly lied. So she's doing this to protect her overlords. And this is exactly why when people say, oh, why do I talk about her? Just leave her alone. Just ignore her. This is probably the one times where I will come out and say something about her.
You do sound a little sweet, though. She a clown. Yes, she a clown. The Fun Turning Point USA, like, they also have fun Black YouTubers, too. All whites, including Jews, are your enemy. Right, she trying to pinpoint it like, no, it's not them. Like, why would you do that? That's crazy. Like, it's something, somebody paid her to do that. But FBA business delineation, man. I want to get what y'all think about. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Salute. Yeah, it's not her husband. Yeah, she a beautiful tool for the supremacy, man. It's crazy because she definitely be going. Rita, I appreciate you, Rita. Black American delineating shows we are on code. Most definitely. Salute to Rita Chapman. Holding it down. It's been causing confusion. This is why she got to say that, and they have to have control over this movement, y'all. Just like they did with any movement, they have to have control over it. Can use your heads. If whites control America, who controls the whites? The J's, a clown, can also be all right. Man, call in. We trying to hear what you trying to, like, let's see what you saying. Gotta make sure you say little hairs though, bro, because I've been going at it with this tool. They see me as a person that they have to shadow ban. But yeah, they finally let me out of. I just got out of YouTube jail, man. And rank 2. She knows she can't reach back to it. Right, you can't reach back once you cross over. It's over with for your whole career, your integrity, your recognition that you built up. Once people find out that you are for sale, it's over with. It's over with. They're just putting you in front of, but for real, they need to invest in somebody else. That's how it works. It's like they'll rather get somebody else new because it's over with. So they'll use these people up until they can't no more. Look like us and then be like, oh, we don't really need them no more. So then they come back to us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, shit, tell them. Shout out to Rosalind, put tether and regretful divester. Yeah. Salute the call dog, man. Yeah, man. He said hit that like button, bro. He's definitely a divester, man. I got it in the chat, man. I want to get what y'all think.
Notice I haven't talked about her in months. This is my first time talking about Candace in months, and she says stuff like this. Imagine if I just ignored this. Y'all wouldn't even known this woman said that.
Okay. Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but it's there, and you can find it.
So I went into ChatGPT again and basically asked, did the Jews run the slave trade? Now, when they broke it down, it was talking about different forms, but the one I was looking for was this one, the transatlantic slave trade, which was number 3 on the list. It says the transatlantic slave trade was overwhelmingly organized, financed, and enforced by European Christian nations such as Portugal, Spain, Britain, France, and the Netherlands. Jewish involvement in the slave trade was tiny, so they did have an involvement, but they said it was minuscule compared to the European Christian nations.
And he gonna use ChatGPT, which, I mean, come on, bro. I don't like everybody feel like we can get all our information, bro, from ChatGPT.
Compared to the overall system and not disproportionate to their population. It says historians agree that claims saying Jews ran the slave trade are false and come from anti-Semitic propaganda. And you know that she has that label of being anti-Semitic plastered on her at all times. And right now she's practically, in my eyes, wearing it with a badge of honor. So they are not surprised that Candace would say something like this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they didn't have a hand in slavery. Even ChatGPT said that they had a tiny hand in it, but it wasn't this overwhelming hand, much like these European nations that they listed, and probably even more.
Money, man.
So not saying that they didn't have a hand in it, but they did, but not the way that Candace is trying to frame it. So she basically again sat up there and just blatantly lied in saying that Black Americans, we need to wake up to our history, and it wasn't white men oppressing us, that it was the Jews that had a heavy hand in slavery. Honestly, Candace, really, if you want to talk about people who are a detriment to Black American society or who's dangerous towards us, it will most definitely have to be her or one of the people. Because again, for those who are new to my channel, there was something that she said while she was on an interview with Tucker Carlson a few years ago. I want to say about 5 years ago, and basically probably back in 2020, where she said something along the lines of Black people being the most murderous people in America.
Okay.
If you live in Florida and have a good driving record, you're being scammed by big auto.
What happened to you?
One thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist, but when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when the perpetrator is a Black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that Black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate.
So again, for those who never saw that clip, remember she said that like 5 years ago. I will never forget that. That was when I knew for a fact that this woman was a detriment to us, where she was an enemy, for a forever enemy in my eyes. And that's just me. That's just how I'm framing it. Y'all could have reasons as to why y'all don't like her, but that right there was one of the main reasons why I did not care for her anymore. Even with all the stuff that she's putting herself through now, I don't care. I really don't care. She could be right about all the so-called conspiracies that she spouted over the last few months, not even just the last year. And she could be right about all of that, and I still wouldn't care about her. She literally has made herself an enemy of Black Americans. And I wish I could find the video, but I actually did a short about it where she says something along the lines of that if they're Caribbeans, then, or they're Black Caribbeans, then she'll care about their well-being and everything like that. Opposed to if they're a Black American, I could care less about whatever it is they're going through, or something along those lines. And when she said that, and what she said in this video, I'm thinking that she's talking about, she's using Black American. Well, she says Black Americans, since she said us a couple of times. Notice she didn't separate herself this time. It's almost like she's trying to lump herself in with us. That's why you got to really pay attention to what this woman is trying to do, because it's almost as if she knows that if the rug gets pulled from under her today, if they decide to pull the plug on all her operations, on all her platforms, guess what she's going to try to do? She's going to try to placate to Black Americans on their feelings, and we cannot allow that to happen. That could not happen at any cost, because I'm telling you, she's probably feeling like she's in the middle of the ocean where she is on a boat that the engine done stalled out, and she's being circled by a family or a herd of sharks that smell blood and they're ready to chomp down. Do not allow this woman.
Right. Just like Antoine Daniels. I think Antoine Daniels is one too. Officer Tatum. That part is true. I'm not sure why she's using our name. She says she has a Caribbean bias, so she will not discuss those artists. Yeah, she got a Caribbean bias. She definitely ain't coming to us. She trying right now, fam. Shout out to Brandon, man. He put, you can't trust ChatGPT. They made the most money off of slavery. Why does both Democrats and Republicans fund? Yeah, they both fund it. Yeah. It's bad. But Candace Owens is definitely held Janet Jackson, though. Why would you say us, knowing she's Caribbean, when she sees the difference between white and Jew? Yeah. Cool Beans was good. Rhonda 465. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, they're coming. It's great seeing, it is great seeing our young Black Americans, that they brothers and sisters coming together. Salute to Rita Chapman, yeah. I feel it will be the millennials and Gen Z generation that will stand up for our awesome lineage. Most definitely. Yeah, it feels good because anytime they gotta try to talk to Black Americans, you know that they don't have a control of them. So that means we doing something good. She stood up for Janet Jackson. Millennials be on this, for real. For real. African Americans ain't African millennial. Yeah, we trying to take off that African American, you know, it just needs to be. I mean, I feel like we the truth and only. Candace, Kamala, Crockett, Obama. Yeah, even guys like, I'm telling you, who is dangerous too is that dude Antoine Daniels. Antoine Daniels is very dangerous, bro. He's like another version of Candace Owens. Man. Foundation of Black America. Nah, Rio, no. Rio, you Jamaican. Why don't you call yourself African Jamaican? Why you people don't call themselves African Jamaican? African Haitians. We don't see African Black Brits. We don't see nobody. We're the only people in the whole, out of all of the Black people around the world who y'all want us to put African in front of our thing. No, bro, we ain't doing it. Yeah, he Jamaican. Talking about we got African man. Bro, that's a sale. That was all cap, bro. We can't put that in front of American. Right. Put African Jamaican. Be telling people that I'm African Jamaican. I'm African Jamaican. You tell people that, you're gonna look at you like you crazy. You can't blame other blacks for why you're called African. I'm not, no, bro. My grandparents told us we were Cherokee. That's what we heard. The name we heard was Cherokee. This is why you gotta, this is what they wanted to label everybody as African American. It was Indian Americans, Native, you know, that's what we were. They put us with, and y'all believed it. Y'all just was like, okay, they African American. But I don't call myself African Jamaican. Nobody else called themselves. They're not African Nigerians. It ain't African Ghanaians. It ain't nobody. Y'all just think we supposed to be the only one that's supposed to represent Africa because we at the top. So why all your documents called you African American? Because that's what the system want, bro. That ain't us. Just my question is, why don't you and people in Jamaica associate their name with Africa? Why don't you do it? That should solve everything. Why don't nobody else do it? Why would you only want one group of Black people and you still want to call people African American? You want to be slow and still do it. Like, why would you want to have only one specific group of Black people call themselves African? Don't nobody else call themselves African, bro. I'm not blaming other Blacks because I'm not called African. Matthew, few are chosen. Yeah, man, we ain't. Nigerian doesn't want to be associated with Jamaica. Shout out to that. We don't got one African sale, man. Salute, Mr. Lawrence. I appreciate you, family. We'll call you whatever you want. Just don't blame us for why you get called African American. Well, you ain't answer the question. Why don't y'all call yourselves African Jamaican? That's all I'm saying. If you see us, right, think about it like this. If you see a group of people taking their African lineage and you're not, how would that make you feel? How does that make you feel? You don't feel like, damn, that's strange. Like how they from Africa, but we not, but we got Jamaica. Shout out to Herschel. I don't bring it up much because I'm black. They don't care what them people from Jamaica. They don't want y'all to have that tag to Africa because it don't matter. It matters to them for us. We have to be. They want us. It's political. They want us ties to Africa because they got more control. They got control over Africa. Is already colonized like crazy. I showed y'all a short where they still transporting Africans all over Africa right now. They going on national TV saying this stuff. They don't owe Jamaicans a dime. Salute to Brandon. Germany still shows blacks as Native Americans. But on the flip-flop, nobody wants to be associated with Nigeria. Exactly. I'm with you on that. But I don't know why they just let you know these tethers effed up bad. Oh yeah, it's over with, man. Shout out to Mr. Lawrence. I appreciate you, man. Everybody who tapped in. I know y'all want to say so much, but y'all know how they do on the FBA. You know they be watching. FBA is FBA. You guys have culture and it's powerful, and Jamaica respects it, bro. You know, I done put some Jamaicans in the game down here in Fort Lauderdale, man. Came right out the boat from Jamaica. I gave them boys all the game, how to move to Florida, how they could dress. You know, I schooled a lot of them island boys, bro, and put them in the right position. That's why they be, you know, they mess with me down here. Anytime they came to our school, bro, I had the most school. We had a lot of people from other countries. We showed them the ropes and all of that and got the culture. It's never no issue with what people are saying on the internet. It's like we always gave people respect when they came from the island, barely speak the English language, and we always was real. It's just being real. We always anybody gonna tell you that. They're gonna say, yeah, man, them people that really looked out for us. We got good hearts. FBA's got real good hearts. We ain't on that crazy. Now we gonna crack jokes on you and you know, we gonna have a good time. Ainswell, what's good, fam? Yeah, like he acting like, bro, it ain't never been no issue. It's just the people who have the issues. But on for real, you know, I don't know why people even saying this on the internet. Ain't nobody really never been no diaspora war, bro, in real life. Now, if you mad because we don't want to call ourselves African American, that's a whole nother issue. You got a problem. If you mad at FBA, it's people that mad because we don't want that term. There's no disrespect to them, but they need to have their own. They need to have their own lineage. We need to have our own lineage. Ainswell in the building. Yeah, the African Union ain't right. FBA and African Americans ain't African. For real. Call my people African. Man, we ain't on that. It's crazy because Rio in his country in Jamaica, they ain't finna let them people call them African. Nobody else don't let them call them African. So why would we want to do it? Okay. It's crazy that some of y'all be like, it's people be acknowledging like, yeah, y'all do be this right. Like majority of y'all really be agreeing with everything we saying. You know, it's nothing that y'all can't. If you hear people talk about FBA, they really is like, it's not nothing they can't say that they, you know, that's not right than what we say. It's like made up myths that's about FBA to try to keep it from, you know, taking off, a grassroots movement from taking off. That's how the Black Panther Party did it. I was hanging with some Somalis for a minute. For the most part, they all right. But there was some that spat in my face. Oh, metaphorically. Okay. It's crazy, bro. I was finna tell you, man, we're gonna have to pull up. No, listen. KG, what's good, family? KG been around since I was shadow banned, man, still holding it down. Shout out to everybody who was watching, man, when I was shadow banned, bro. I don't know how y'all found me, man, but y'all was still able to, the few that was watching, they really was gonna try to move in on us and take over our house, for real. Yeah, see, FBAs have thick skin, and that's how we survive. You know, that's why our culture, you got to understand our culture. Our culture is to roast you bad. We want you to get roasted so bad that you're tough. You feel me? That's why we a lot tougher than y'all. Like, we don't get mad at roasting. Like, you don't never hear Black Americans talk about when people called them names, gringos and all of these names in America, because we don't really care. But when we go at the bus stop, we getting joked on hard. We don't care about them little names and stuff y'all be calling us. Cause we had it real rough, bro. We had to really get joked on for real. So y'all ain't used to that. So y'all get more offended. Y'all will be like heartbroken. Man, don't call me a tether. Bro, don't do that, bro. Don't call me a tether, bro. That's the worst thing you could call me. It's like y'all so emotional about it. Cause you're just not used to being, you know, joked on to the degree to where it gives you thick skin. It's crazy, but that's what it is, man. We a lot more tougher than y'all, bro. Like any of the people in all the diaspora, bro. It's just like the traits we have is a lot more tougher, you know, when it comes to and just Caribbean culture, roasting too. It just come off different. Certain lines that can be crossed are different. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying Black American culture is, see, my motto, bro, where I'm from, it's like we always is going to take it to a place to where you don't want to go. So it's always, if we going at it any kind of way, whatever it is, I'm going to want to show you that I'm going to take it to a place where you don't want to go so you can bow down. You're going to be like, yeah, I don't want to deal with him, bro. If I got to deal with him, he going to go overboard. He ain't just going to be like this. He's going to do it 10 times hard. That's the kind of energy we got. Like, we ain't finna just, it's going to get real critical. So that's just how we is, bro. We competitive. We want to be, you know, we got that competitive spirit. Caribbeans are not good at roasting. I'm from Dave Chappelle. You put so unbothered eating and popcorn and line dance. That African booty scratch a whole weight. No cow. Bro, that African booty scratching, man, that is crazy. It's crazy, but I'm telling you, bro, they don't like to be called our names because it could stick. It's more of an influence. It's like the whole world gonna use it. You see how the white, you know, like when they Jones us, they don't get the whole world is not gonna use it. It's just only gonna be with them. with us, if we joke on you, you gonna have the whole world gonna know about this. Y'all just be with that gringo and them little names that y'all just know about, but it don't go viral. If we get on you, oh man, the whole world gonna know about it. That's why we get the greatest comedians on earth. For real. We got everyone saying goofy. Cause it's so deep, bro. You don't understand, man. It's so deep, bro. That there is probably one of the main reasons why we know we not African. Like that may be one of the reasons where people is like, ain't no damn way. That probably started it. Somebody probably started the thinking and was like, African booty scratcher. Ain't no way. Yeah, man. Yeah. Come on back to the school bus in the day. It was over with if you wasn't on point. For real. Bro, it was back, bro. It was over with, bro. We was looking for people to make fun of. We wanted, this was like, that was like TV. It was like, that's what they did. That's what we did as kids. We was just looking for somebody. We looking at your shoe. We looking at what you got on. Don't let nobody find you. Gotta be on. You better be on point. You know what I'm saying? Have popping up, blocking the chat. No, y'all got ads popping up. Oh, here they go, man. Here they go. We used to rib on each other for a pass. B2 sport, right, bro? That was a sport. But tetherism roasting is meant as disrespect because it is. It's disrespectful. Like what Byron Donalds is doing. Do you feel like that's disrespectful? Telling us he from Jamaica. He gonna tell us he ain't go vote for reparations, and you ain't even your grandparents ain't even grew up here. That's a tether, bro. You can't tell me. You can't tell me and my ancestors what we deserve. That's crazy. Battle rappers roast. Yeah, battle rappers roast. That's what I'm saying. So we got to come up with these disrespectful words to put and label y'all or label anybody that's, because that's, bro, that's ain't no way you should feel comfortable doing that. So we have to have these names. That's disrespectful. FBA deserves reparations. Get your money, man. Straight up. For real. We got to make that uncomfortable for them too. You should be ashamed of yourself if you from another country and you in a political position off of the black people name and you're not doing nothing for them in policy. No, you got to get you got to come down. Nah, they ain't a tether. They're a coon. I ain't gonna say they're a coon, bro, if they're against reparations. I ain't gonna say that. Because there is some people that feel like they just don't want nothing to do with the government. They feel like they don't want to ask. They feel like we asking the government or we begging. No, it's just like if somebody owe you some money. Somebody owe you some money, they owe you some money. It ain't begging for you to go pull up at their house and be like, bro, what's up with them $2,000 you owe me, bro? And you keep pulling up, you keep asking, or you keep calling about, bro, you owe it, bro. It's a balance due. That's not, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that. It's a bill that's due. So it's like just waiting to get paid. When FBA really wake up to who's Caribbeans and Latinos really are, the roasting sessions will be hella different. Shout out to Audrey. Yeah, but them roasting sessions is what made us. Like, it separated us. I'm not in Florida, but Byron has a lot of money behind him. That's what I'm saying, man. He got a lot of money. Lot of money. Money long. Do you think anyone else has a chance of winning? It may be one guy that got a chance, bro, but only if FBA all came together and was like, we voting opposite of the next person that could win. That's the only way. Other than that, Trump gonna push Byron Donald in there. Money is coming from them little hats. That's what they do, bro. Like, little hats. It's probably some companies, probably a lot of companies, but they put, why you care where the money come from? For real. He got it where the money come from, but you already know where the money come from. It ain't come from us. If Byron knew better, he had better keep that 45 million and go back to Jamaica. For real, Audrey. Because listen, once he get all of that craziness down here in Florida, listen, man, the streets is joining politics, man. This ain't the time to be, trying to rob people's ancestors. Like, in the future, you ain't gonna be able to do that. So little hats like Tethers and white conservatives back FBA. Ray, what's good, fam? Out of here, ain't got time for that. The streets is most definitely watching. Yeah, the streets is getting more in tune to politics for sure. So you ain't gonna be able to just, talk any kind of way, because that's what politics was missing. It was missing the real ones with common sense. It was a few out there, but for the most part, you can get over on people, especially as we seeing with like a lot of our black people. But we understand, like, the guys who was in the streets, you can't get over on them. You can't pull it over. You can't pull the wool over their eyes. But some of the people that aren't, you can kind of. But that's why having more of our guys that's standing on business, it's a big difference. Tethering is an attitude, an action, a way about you. We call it sellouts, FBAs, all kind of labels. But the key word is sellout. Shout out to Chill J, man. For real. You go that far. Mr. Lord, for real. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Sean. Yeah, they got, asking where the money came from is like, he trying to get in on something. Look, that's why Rio asks where their money come from, because he trying to see how he can get in. He probably finna call up their office right now to the, what do they call it? They call that organization they got. He finna call up there and say, man, is there any way I can get on board with you guys? Was that $7,000 check? Rio would take $7,000 right now and talk bad about Black Americans. You got that integrity? Rio, would you take 7,000, bro? Would you get on the net and talk bad about us? Pocket watching niggas. Man, when people Rio come around, agent provocateurs, we need the people like Facts, Rio, you Jamaican down. Rio has a timeout. For real, man. Salute to LeVar, man. I appreciate you, family. Man, coming through. Yeah, y'all know this is our safe space, man. They love hearing this. They love, listen, it's so many people. It's so many people that tapping into our like FBA lives, y'all, and just be trying to hear what the real ones is talking about. Like, what are they doing? What do they got planning? It's somebody that go on my YouTube channel and they trying to be like, well, what are we doing? What are the policies? Like, they want me to break down to them to the world exactly what we doing, what we trying to, like, don't nobody give out their game plan to the world like that. You crazy? But Byron is an immigrant, an anti-immigrant climate. L.A. Hopkins in the building. For real. Yeah, Audrey, I appreciate, man. We've been, I gotta send you an email too, Audrey. I like them plans and I like that stuff we got going on. We ain't gonna talk too much online about it, but definitely I've been linking with a lot of y'all, sending emails. I got a link with Corey too, man. Corey, I got a partner in New York who want to get with that IT. Corey got it. I don't know if Corey on. Corey, you gotta hit me up. I got a brother, FBA brother, trying to get on that IT work. Told him about you. I want to mention something about the small hats, but I don't want to get you banned again. Yeah, man. I was talking about that guy, the big time guy. And yeah, man, they put me in the chokehold. But I mean, we got to figure out a way how to. Man, Rio don't want to give us no more BS no more, bro. He out of here with that. Y'all probably put him in timeout. And I appreciate y'all for hitting that like button, man. But we definitely on fire right now, though, in the beginning of 2026. Yeah, it's over for her with FBA. She really just burnt her bridge. You know, that's the main thing. She burnt her bridge with us. Really burnt her bridge. But I wanted to go over this topic too, though. What's going on with FBA? Oh, isn't it Martin? No, Martin Luther King. Professor Troop did something about Martin. Let's check. Shout out to the professor. Let me pull this up for y'all. So FBA is definitely on code now, fam. And the code is the leader. Fact. They don't want that. Yeah, I seen that. I'm gonna pull that up, fam. After this, I'm gonna pull that up. She wants to pat on the back. Yeah, let me pull this up, man. I think it is Dr. Martin. Is it Dr. Martin? No, it's on the 17th, right? Forgot when that part birthday is.
The moment of truth. Every January 15th, Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I heard what he said. Listen, that right there sums it all. That's what got him popped. He said, we going up there for that check. For the check. He ain't say nothing else. It's funny how nobody is saying that in politics, that's black in politics. This happened in the 60s? You mean to tell me ain't nobody got in politics and was like, we going after that check?
Jr.'s birthday, I make sure to begin with showing this video clip in particular. Some of you have never heard these words from Dr. King before, and that's because you don't know the real Dr. King. Not only have you never heard it from the white media, you never heard it from their bootlicks and haven't heard it from the civil rights retreads either.
This is what the immigrants got to understand what's going on, what they did back then. If the immigrants understand they giving away our land and giving away millions of land and got us paying taxes, this is why y'all have to pay taxes and we don't have to pay taxes. And the tax has to go directly to us because they didn't pay to get on this land. They never paid for it. The immigrants that's coming over here, they're coming over here basically on a free ride. They're getting free food. They're getting, getting in homes. It's like they ain't got to pay. And we got to make it to where now everybody has to be, it has to be a transaction that got to be made. You can't just do all this for free, bro.
This is the real Dr. King, the one that they don't show you. They instead stick to just one line from one speech that he gave because they can distort that to fit their own agenda. You need to know the reality. The phony, passive, unthreatening version of Dr. King that the white media manufactured after his assassination, that's not the real Dr. King. That was a made-up version that the white media created so as to make him more palatable to the white masses because they knew that they had martyred the man, so he wasn't going away. It was also meant to mislead black people into thinking, oh, well, Dr. King, he wasn't actually trying to bring the system down. He wasn't actually in any shape, form, or fashion militant. Instead, he was just wanting for little kids to play together nicely on the playground.
But I must confess that
he was unthreatening, okay?
Big facts, he was changing. What you said, that Ray said, I got to put that clip to the channel intro. What, when he said that we're going there to get our check? Yeah, I may have to get that one good one. That was a good one, Ray said. We're going there to get our check. Man, look, y'all, we can all go pull up to DC and hey, man. He said his dream was a nightmare.
You need to see our FBA icon the way he actually was, and stop letting white power tell you who they want you to think that he was. Even your white liberal pals, even they wouldn't show this video. As far as they're concerned, it's better to have the Dr. King who was not so threatening, wasn't really making any substantive demands. Let's go ahead and invent that version, and we'll keep the real Dr. King under wraps. We got to censor that. See, they knew the truth. Why do you think racists like Charlie Kirk were attacking Dr. King? They knew all the lies about Dr. King was against affirmative action. He'd have been against it. He was the one campaigning for it. When they, well, he said to judge people by their character and not the color of their skin. The white right spent decades pushing that line of guff because they were hoping you would fall for it. but you never did. And since their lies about Dr. King weren't just refused, but rebutted by the black grassroots, they decided to put all pretense aside. And now they talk about Dr. King just like J. Edgar Hoover did in the 60s, calling him all kind of names. They realized that we weren't buying their lies. We weren't accepting it. They saw how we reminded people who Dr. King really was, and they might as well stop pretending like they ever admired him. As I've always told you, how do you tell the real from the phony? Time. Time always tells.
There has never been a single solid, determined commitment of large segments of white America on the whole question of racial equality. I think we have to see that vacillation has always existed, ambivalence has always existed, and this to me is the so-called white backlash. It's merely a new name for an old phenomenon. I see the white backlash as a continuation of the same ambivalence and vacillation of white America on the whole question of racial justice that has existed since the founding of our nation. I think the other thing that we must see at this time is that many of the people who supported us in Selma, in Birmingham, were really outraged about the extremist behavior toward Negroes. But they were not at that moment, and they are not now, committed to genuine equality for Negroes. It's much easier to integrate a lunch counter than it is to guarantee an annual income, for instance, to get rid of poverty for Negroes and all poor people. It's much easier to integrate a bus than it is to make genuine integration a reality and quality education a reality in our schools. It's much easier to integrate even a public park than it is to get rid of slums. And I think we are in a new era, a new phase of the struggle, where we have moved from a struggle for decency, which characterized our struggle for 10 or 12 years, to a struggle for genuine equality. And this is where we're getting the resistance, because there was never any intention to go this far. People were reacting to Bull Connor and to Jim Clark rather than acting in good faith for the realization of genuine equality.
The white media spent decades trying to conjure magic and get us to have collective amnesia. But we never forgot the real Dr. King, and we never forgot who took his life either. Not just the malignant, satanic, dominant society, but also their government, too. The same white supremacist government that pretended to honor him after his murder was also the same government that conspired to undermine his crusade, who told all manner of defamatory lies about him in an attempt to assassinate his character. And when those feeble measures failed, they took his life. But
King said, we coming back to get that check. We coming up there for that check, bro. That's the most important thing. We need to understand what King stood on. He wanted that check. He was not playing. Appreciate your knowledge, brother. Appreciate the support, man. For real, I wouldn't be coming up here doing this if it wasn't for y'all, man, showing me support. I appreciate that. I watched this morning, taking my son to school. That's what's up, B1. Yeah, man, this is important. But this is important how he was about us getting that check. They had to take him out. And it makes sense because we haven't been, nobody we seen said something like that about getting us our money. Nobody ain't talking like this. So it lets me know we have to clean house. Ain't nobody right, man. Ain't nobody right, fam.
White supremacy believes in taking both sides of the conversation. That's the reason why they simultaneously defamed him and then afterwards try to pretend as if, oh, they just respected him all along. No, they did not. But they're trying to give you a distorted view of what the man was for the sake of controlling your behavior. Tell you that Dr. King wasn't actually trying to threaten or challenge the system when in actuality, that's exactly what he was about. Dr. King's birthday is on January 15th. That stuff about the third Monday, that's because white lawmakers wanted to give themselves a 3-day weekend. And this was how they did it. White power will always give themselves a gift and then lie and say that they did it for you. So over here in the land of Black empowerment, we revere and honor our icons on the days that we choose, the appropriate days, the right days, the same way that we make sure that we remember them the way that they actually were and not the way the white power tries to convince us that they were.
Big fact.
Dr. Joseph Ben-Jochannan pointed out that Dr. King wasn't promoting nonviolent resistance because he was opposed to violence necessarily. He did it because under our circumstances, that was the method he felt was the most pragmatic.
King thought and gave his life for me, as Malcolm did. But the methodology I had to pursue would have been that of Malcolm. We feel that if you like King, you can't like Malcolm. Oh no, both men fought for the same thing. It's nonsense to say that King lived for nonviolence. That's the tactic he used. It was not the way of life.
Because for the last 50 plus years, the society's been carpet bombed with white media propaganda with a distorted version of Dr. King, people keep forgetting that, as Dr. King himself said, the moral phase of his movement was over. And next it was time to talk about the money. That was when he received his stiffest resistance from white society and from the government. But make no mistake, Dr. King, the real Dr. King, the one the white power feared, was primarily concerned about the money. And in the years leading up to his assassination, that's what he focused on.
This is the richest nation in the history of the world. Our national gross product this year will go beyond $800 billion. And yet there are between 38 and 50 million people who are poverty-stricken. Now, something wrong. A lot of people are afraid to say it. But I don't mind saying it. You see, somebody said to me the other night, don't you think, Dr. King, you are going to have to start speaking more in terms of the administration's policy? Because since you started talking against the war in Vietnam, it's hurt the budget of your organization, and people who once respected you don't respect you anymore. And I had to look over and say, so I'm sorry, but you don't know me. I'm not a consensus leader. I don't determine what is right and wrong by looking at the budget of my organization. And I don't determine what is right and wrong by taking a Gallup poll of the majority opinion. And so because there's something wrong, our struggle must continue. And what we must see is that our nation's summers of right.
Now, did y'all hear? I don't know if y'all caught that, right? But we're going to keep it PG on the channel because I don't want to, this is very, you heard how he said you losing money in your campaign because you're talking about different stuff. And it reminds you of the same thing that they were saying about the CK, the white dude, how they was like, dang, they stopped and sending money to his campaign. People with Dr. King, they didn't know. So at some point, he ain't care about that money. He gonna speak like, I don't care about that money. That's what he's saying right now. So, and it seemed like that's the route that old boy was going after too. Dr. King was, but he had a nonprofit. Dr. King had a nonprofit. Yeah. But they thought they could get him with that money, but he wanted us to get that money.
Riots are caused by our nation's winters of delay.
Dr. King didn't just represent an economic threat or a political threat to the white status quo. He also represented an ideological threat. The central core myth, the central core lie of America is that this country's story is one of progress. From the very beginning, this country is always moving forward. And no matter how bad things seem today, why, it's definitely better than it was in the past. This country and its politicians and its so-called historians, quote unquote, have told that lie from day one. It's psychological warfare. What that lie does is it conditions people to not fight for change. Why should you? After all, change is going to happen automatically. Why? It's baked into the cake in America. That's what America's about, progress. So there's no need for you to rock the boat. Dr. King proved that all to be a bunch of lies. The country's story was and is one of murder, slavery, deprivation, barbaric cruelty, and evil people who are allowed to carry out whatever kind of degeneracy they want, and this country praises them, lionizes them, makes heroes out of them, protects them, and it kills people who oppose them. People like Dr. King. How many of these millionaires and billionaires do you see being assassinated? Is it because these guys have security? So what? President Lincoln had security. So did President Kennedy and President Reagan and Donald Trump, and that didn't stop any of them from being shot or even killed. The reality is it's the plutocrat class who are the ones most responsible for the deaths of those who challenge the system. After all, it's their system. The people fighting to change things, you don't ever see them covertly or overtly saying, let's go ahead and kill the rich. They don't do that. You don't see them conspiring behind closed doors to do that. Dr. King was fighting for an equitable distribution of the wealth. He never sought to kill the rich. Now, do you think any of those rich white people like the Rockefellers or the Carnegies or the Kennedys were singing Dr. King's praises and talking about how they wished him no ill will? Or do you think they talked about him like a dog and a lot of them behind closed doors were saying, what's the best way to get rid of this problem? Dr. King himself said that his organization was being cut off from money because of his fight for justice. Now, how many of the wealthy white people in America do you think were contributing money to Dr. King's organization? Not one. Dr. King fully recognized that the power of white supremacy lay in its economy, so he targeted the money on moral grounds, and white power saw how the social barriers fell, and now they began to shake with fear because their economic walls that they depend on could crumble next. As the black grassroots, we point out all the time that the civil rights generation seemed to think that it was a virtue to be marching all the time. To them, that was the goal in and of itself. They bragged about it. Well, for the few who were actually out there, truth be told, a lot of these elders, quote unquote, they weren't out there doing jack. Many of them weren't even saying a peep against the Bull Connors and other racists. But today, suddenly everybody was out there. Well, Dr. King actually sided with us when it came to being enthusiastic about marching.
I'm tired of marching. Tired of marching for something that should have been mine at birth. I don't mind saying to you tonight. I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of the tension surrounding our days. I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of living every day under the threat of death. I have no martyr complex. I want to live as long as anybody in this building tonight. And sometimes I begin to doubt whether I'm going to make it through. I must confess I'm tired.
This is the Dr. King that the white media won't show you. And it's the one you need to see, the Dr. King that the black grassroots respects and reveres. Don't let the enemy take one incidental aspect of the methodology he used and a snippet from one little speech and then miseducate you that that's all there was to the man. We won't let his words, his memory, or the fight he waged and that we continue be altered, rewritten, or infringed upon by the very racists who murdered him. The tactics that he chose to employ may not necessarily be the ones that we would have chosen, but his goals were the same nonetheless. Dr. King wasn't out there with that tool or carrying out a military uprising or blowing up buildings, but he did embolden people to fight. He destroyed the white lie that America was a moral nation, and this encouraged other countries to question America's moral authority, as well as the white media's lie about American progress and morality. Because you see, those lies are a key part of how the U.S. exercises soft power, which is how it influences people to do what America wants without having to send in the Marines. Mm-hmm. You do it through psychological warfare. So you come up with a story like America has always been moving forward regardless of its imperfections. Or Dr. King, he wasn't trying to bring down the system. Why? He just wanted to see little white kids and black kids playing together on the playground. You know, a story like that. Most of you don't know the real Dr. King, so I encourage you to become acquainted with him. The same way white power lied about us, the way that it lied about our lineage and our movement, it also lied about him decades earlier and has continued to lie about the man every day ever since. Don't let the white media push any lies that he and Malcolm were rivals either. That's what Malcolm called white media manipulation, to have you thinking that black people are always fighting with each other. That way we get fooled into thinking that black people aren't going to be fighting white supremacy. It's meant to demoralize and confuse us. White power killed both Malcolm and Martin. Now, why would white power kill both of these rivals who apparently were diametrically opposed unless they were both challenging the system? So these are the thoughts that I'd like for you to carry with you today on this, the birthday of Dr. King. Dr. King wanted us to move and act and think for ourselves, not to be asking permission to do things that are in our interest. And that's the reason why we are honoring him and honoring him on his birthday, the real day. We don't need the government to tell us anything, the same government that murdered him. We will choose for ourselves when we honor our icon, and make no mistake, he is our icon. We are not just his heirs. We are also the ones to whom his memory has been entrusted, as well as his mission. The dream was and is Black empowerment. And that is the dream we will keep alive.
Big fact. Big fact. Shout out to Professor Truth, man. Always holding it down. Always holding it down. But yeah, man. Y'all know how we do. Oprah's mother, not FBA. No. No. So now y'all saying Oprah's not? That's crazy. Other cultures using the word dream is ridiculous. That's our people. Okay? Big facts, man. Yeah, we just got to keep standing on business. I like that from Malcolm, no man cutting the check. I am going to edit that out, man. I'm going to have to use that. We coming for our check. That's going to be the new motto. I got to put that on the shirt. Y'all, I'm finna get some shirts, man, that we're going to have. What is going to say on there? Cut the check. That's going to be the motto on the shirt. Cut the check, man. That's what we're going to push out, man. I'm going to put them shirts out on the next live, y'all. I'm going to do that. Put them in the stores. Cut the check. Real talk, man. Salute. Real, what Kimmel said. I missed it. Yeah, guys, but yeah, we're gonna see what's going on with yeah, we about to get everything back. Salute that Ainswell. We finna everything finna be right how we need it to be. Let me pull this brother up. Really got on that. But yeah, man, we support and make sure we keep supporting our Black America, our FBA content creators.
Your perfect domain is out there. Go to Wix and make it yours.
You really need to see this.
What do you say when people say where you from?
America.
Wait, where you from?
I'm American. I'm from New York.
No, country.
Where you from? You tell me you're American. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh, okay, but like where are your parents from? My parents are from New York.
Americans, they don't know where they're from, you know.
Americans care enough to find out where they're from.
I'm so proud to be American.
Is this a statement that disarms Black America? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss this and actually break it down and educate the proper response to this particular question. I think I cracked the code. My name is Adonis Crash Boom. You guys are watching Adonis Live, and if you made it this far and you like the video already, you're a true legend. If you haven't liked the video yet, come on, gang. Like, give me tap the like. This is really educational. It's gonna be a very educational stuff. And I wanted you to see what different people are saying about this.
Hey, so I have a question for non-Americans. How come only Black Americans owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Jamaicans don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Brazilians don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Colombians and Black Panamanians and Black anybody else, how come they don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come when people from any other country who are Black tell you, I'm from Panama, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Dominican Republic, wherever it is, how come you take them for what they say when they say it, but when a Black American says, I'm American, you ask them, okay, but where are you really from?
First thing I gotta say immediately, isn't it refreshing? Isn't it refreshing? Do you see the work that's being held right here? Multiple different people from different ethnicities are starting to click and starting to ask questions like, bro, why is this happening? Like, this is the work that I'm pushing for. I want international people to start really second guessing these stereotypes, you know? And this question right here, it's true. If you guys agree, like, you know, comment in the chat, I agree with this lady, like, true, especially if you're even if you are Black American, if you're African, it doesn't matter. But like, you know, if you're watching this and you're not Black American, or, you know, comment in the chat, I'm from this person and I agree, I'm from this place and I agree with this person, you know? But let's hold on, I'm gonna get my thoughts and opinions at the end. Hold on.
Why are you always calling Americans dumb when you don't understand the transatlantic slave trade and you don't understand that all these people came on the same boats, just on different stops? And on top of that, how come a Black American who has been here since, I don't know, the 1500s, how come they have to be from somewhere else in Africa?
Ooh, now the transatlantic slave trade did happen. It is something that did happen, but I don't want to give too much details and lineage or bloodline attraction to the transatlantic slave trade, because once you mix and breed between multiple different people, where are you really coming from? You know what I mean? Once you start mixing in between the indigenous people that are here and stuff like that, how can you say that they're from the transatlantic slave trade? No, we probably have some bloodlines or some ties to the transatlantic slave trade. But there were people here before the transatlantic slave trade. So that's where things get a little bit muddy and mixy. And this is the conversation I try to have with international people on a consistent basis, but they just don't want to accept the reality of what it is. But hold on, I'm getting my thoughts and opinions at the end. Here we go.
But if a white American whose grandparents came here in like 1920 from Italy says that they're Italian, you're like, no, you're not Italian. You're American. You're not Italian. How come that Black American can't just be American?
I'm not going to say much. Like, I'm really curious. Like, take some time right now, pause the video, and comment your thoughts on what you feel right now seeing this young lady say that she's not a Black American. She doesn't even look African. I think she's Latino or something like that. How does it feel to see somebody from a different ethnicity or different background give their perspective and start asking questions and like, yo, why are y'all doing this to these people? Why are y'all having this double standard? Why isn't it? It's seeming like everyone else is catching on to what Black Americans have been saying for a while now, and it's actually, from my perspective, I'm gonna read your comments. But besides that, I want you guys to see what these conversations actually go down and look like. Now, some of you guys have been following me for a while, so you've probably seen some of these videos.
Thanks,
but for people who don't, let's just give a little recap on how these conversations go. Because throughout this, these people do not know a lot about history. And this is one of the things that I've learned.
Wait, where are you from? I'm American. I'm from New York. No, that country. The United States. Wait. I'm Black American.
No. So what country? Like,
the United States.
Your family.
I was born in the United States.
No, your family.
Yeah, I'm so glad y'all talking about. We're gonna get back to that, but we got to make sure we circulate our money with each other, you know. And if we don't have something in your area where people spending money, we need to make sure we get it for our people. Like right now is the time. We watching what them people did in Somalia. There's no way we should not be trying to set up our, you know, just our institutions that we know we spending our money with, and we making sure we get in ourselves jobs. It's important where we spend our money, because we got to make sure that it's gonna be jobs for us, because everybody is spending money with their own.
Where's your mom and dad from? No, like what country?
No,
wait. Where's your mom and dad from? Viral. Alright, listen.
No, I'm not.
Where's your mom, your granddad, your grandma?
My mom. Your great-great-grandmother, born in 1872. That's your grandmother sitting next to her.
Where was she born at?
She was born in Virginia.
So people ask me all the time, you know, life is so uncertain.
Nah, he's FBA. I'm thinking he's FBA, but he's been overseas. Like, I got a homie like that on this. He be coming on my channel, my boy Black Boy Wonder. He been overseas. He was playing basketball. We got a lot of FBAs that they are all around the world, y'all. They're not just in America no more. So they be picking up on accent, styles, and clothing be a little different, but they still be FBA, you know.
Right now, you know, the waves of life, the storms come.
Hold on. So my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother was born in 1872 in Virginia. Pay attention to that number.
In 1872.
A year, 1872. All right, it's very important for people who are not it's going to be very important towards the end, all right? She's born in Virginia. That's the South. Majority of Black Americans, they come from the South because it was the Great Migration. We'll talk about that towards the end. Pay attention. Here we go.
Are you Aborigine? Are you
I'm a
native?
Black American.
It's just Black America.
Yes.
So your country is Black. No,
country is Black American. Wow.
No, your country is, no, that's what I'm trying to say.
My country is the United States of America.
I swear, tripping.
I'm tripping.
You have to be tripping, bro.
Aren't you from Jamaica?
No. I'm born in England.
All right, where are you from?
Bro, I got a hat. I don't got a hat like that where it's not the cowboy one, but it is a brown brim. So I mean, I can see what people saying, but you know, sometimes you want to be weird. We be having guys sometimes we just want to put on a button-up shirt and just be, you know, I don't know. I want to know what y'all think, but
My parents, my dad's side is Jamaican.
So where are you from?
Jamaica.
All right, where else are you from? Where?
England. Jamaica, England.
You want to know something? Because the statement that you're trying to make is a statement that it's like that lady said, like, yeah, how can you ask me this? You're Caribbean. You have a Caribbean descent, a Jamaican descent, just like the woman said. How are you asking me this particular?
Audrey, he said his mom was born in Virginia, so he's from New York. He got that New York accent. When people from New York, you may think they are immigrant because it's so much. That accent, a New York accent, is meaning to us that you probably come from immigrant background. But no, it is some New Yorkers that's
Question, it makes no sense, but hold on, because there's more that I have to show you this. It's not just about this particular situation.
What do you say when people say where you from?
America.
No, where's your country?
My country is America. I was born in New York, raised in.
Where your parents from?
My parents are from New York.
Americans, they don't know where they're from, you know.
No, Americans don't know where they're from.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Because you must be Caribbean or African or.
What do you mean Caribbean? Isn't Caribbean a part of America as well?
There's some in there.
Jamaica.
It's not really America, but it's near. It's near, but it's not.
What continent is the Caribbean in? Jamaica and what continent is that? Why are you running? LOL.
You're trying to draw me out.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. Where are you from? You're from Congo.
I'm Jamaican.
And Jamaica. What continent is Jamaica in?
If you don't answer that, I'm leaving you.
I just want to know what continent Jamaica's in.
I didn't pass geography.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, and that's not the first time I asked them. That's a Caribbean and Congo mixed breed child. She doesn't know where Jamaica is, and it's all right. Hold on. It can't. Maybe it's just her. You know. Let's go back to that other guy that we was talking.
You said Americans are done. So tell me what continent is Jamaica in?
Yeah, America's hot dogs forever.
All right. So what continent?
You don't know.
What continent is Jamaica in?
I don't know that, bro. Did you? I don't know.
America.
Wait, answer this question.
Okay.
If you're born in England,
yes.
Are you European?
Are you European?
No, I'm asking the question.
I know the answer already.
Are you European? Answer it.
Yeah. No.
British. No, British. No, I said European.
No, because you know Europe.
No. You answer.
Yes.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room.
This guy been standing on business, man. Adonis is a big he been standing on business and showing proof that, you know, his grandparents is from the United States. But I get what you're saying, Audrey.
Exactly what you're saying.
Adonis been holding down. I don't know if you probably ain't never seen him.
This is co-producer. The fastest way to find samples.
From New York.
Hold on. So listen, he's asking me a question now, and this is gonna come to my final statement. I'm gonna let it play, but I really want you to pay attention to what's going on right now. He's asking me a question, and I want you to focus on the question that he's asking me, because it's all gonna play a role into something that I like to call. Just wait.
You're European.
No, we're not, because we're not a part of the European Union no more. Oh,
that's Europe.
If you keep up.
You see how dumb they are? You see how dumb they are? No.
It's one word.
Hold on, stop. Just because you left the European Union does not mean you left the continent of Europe. What are you talking about? Bro, these guys are tapped. These guys are... You did not leave the continent. Did you leave the continent of Europe? Did you leave the Did you leave the continent of Europe?
I'm sorry. I really need to go back. I love these videos. Were so fun because I get to really play. Like, you know, I'm funny. I'm crazy like that. But hold on. I call this the great projection. And if you made it this far and you haven't commented anything in the video.
So yeah, I mean, I rock with him. I've been listening to his content. This is why we are so tribal and fight against their own selves. Even though they are the majority in their homeland, they worship white people like God. Some New Yorkers are weird, but Adonis seems to be a rider. Yeah. I've been rocking with Adonis for a minute. You know, he really be holding us down. You got to check him out, Ardura. You got to look at some of his work. He holding it down for Black Americans for real. Now I ain't check his paperwork or his lineage, but he seemed pretty solid. Seemed like a solid dude. But and that's all who I'm a rock on this channel, man. I be rocking with all of everybody who be, you know, standing on business. I'm gonna start giving them more play. Our sisters, our FBA brothers. Yeah. Why they hate claiming it, where they from? Yeah, man. A lot of people, they don't like claiming where they from, man. Especially when they come here, they like to fit in. I remember when I was in New York, and you know, I was testing homeowners' water, and I was going to different homes, and once I started talking, it was like, "Where you from?" And I always had to tell people where I was from because I had my accent. So when you in another place, when you in a foreign place, I don't know if y'all have ever been into a foreign place where you're foreign to the area. People always gonna ask you where you from, like where you from. If your accent don't sound from what they used to. So yeah. Yeah, that's something about. Yeah. Son that rock with us. Yeah, we gotta look out for some of them, but you know, he ain't never did nothing out of bounds, man. You know, like I can tell he don't push no political rhetoric. That's the ones, you know, you can tell somebody who's paid is like they're gonna be having to push a political rhetoric that we see, but they trying to act like they ain't in politics. But y'all have to realize that a lot of these immigrants have been here since 1700s. Yeah, for real, big facts, man. The thing they can't do is trace themselves. That's also a Southern FBA thing to ask. Who your people? Who your people or where you from? Yeah, it is. Definitely it is. But like I can understand how like you don't want that. Like if you come into a foreign town, even in the US, even anywhere, it's like the last thing you want. I mean, it kind of worked for me though, because people was like, I remember one lady, I didn't like it at one time, but one lady was like, man, hearing your accent and y'all got so much good hospitality. It's like I like people from the South. Then it's like, you know, but really people know that you're not from there. It's not a good, you know. I'm just speaking from somebody that was there. I can see how some people are just want to blend in. They just want to blend in and not stick out. Real talk, fam. I'm from Louisiana. But here we go. And it's not that you don't care, like you don't care about, I don't care about the accent. It's just certain people get, like if you come in my neighborhood and you have an accent, it's gonna trigger everybody antennas. Like, who is this person? Watch this guy. You gotta watch him, bro. So having people feel like that is crazy. Did you see Antoine Daniels' new video about court? Let me drop that, man, before let's check that out. I did, man. I really do not like Antoine Daniels, bro. I ain't even gonna count with y'all, bro. It's like I respect his hustle though. I respect how he be hustling and getting his money, but his character, his integrity, it's like he's really off brand to me, bro. Let me see where it's at. I seen a little bit of it. I'm trying to see where it's at. Everybody talking about it, so it's like we can't get what he said. Where he at? I don't even think he talked about it on this channel. No, he didn't talk about that one. He talked it on the Millionaire Morning Show. But yeah, I don't rock with this dude. Keep it real. He did something recently, bro, and he was in the studio.
What's going on, friends? It's Anton.
No, I don't see it, man. I'm gonna see what y'all saying.
What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no
bro,
none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley.
Like,
what's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels.
He knows he's a Poindexter, but now he want to act tough, and it's just like, bro, I don't even know these people. No, but how he do his YouTube channel, I'm saying like how he put the team together, but his character, but he got, you know, he know how to manage it. He know how to manage his YouTube channels. He know how to put together a team. Other than that, right? He I don't know his lineage though. I don't think they say he ain't even Black American. Well, he might be. Tether vibe. Not that part of his hustle, Mickey. We don't respect that. Black Americans are sitting down on the Democrats. Have you seen the Way Back video? Yeah, he talking real slick, but I mean, he made it seem like when I was watching what he said, he made it seem like because Corey didn't fight him right then and there and go out back, it made it seem like, you know, if you really wanted to fight the man, you just should have said what he wanted you to say. And, you know, no one from Detroit screams, I'm from Detroit, before they squad. Man, I seen people are ashamed that Antoine Daniels even reps Detroit. Yeah, he put Antoine as an FBA, I think he's Caribbean. Yeah, he don't even consider himself a black. He considered himself Christian. Like, he don't call himself black. They interviewed the woman regarding how Cuban immigrants have taken their black jobs. Okay, let me go to mediocre for real for y'all. For mediocre. What mediocre reveals? Is this the one right here, bro?
Booking.com has all kinds of stays.
Ooh la la.
Because a romantic hotel works for some.
Is that a mirror?
Now, before we get started in the content today, I'm gonna let you guys know off of the rip that I get conflicted in doing content like this. For I do not want to stoke the fire, right? I don't want to add gas, oil, and kerosene on something that, you know, was a real situation. The podcast between Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels, the importance of the cultural commentary behind that, because there is a ton of things that are happening. It needs deep analysis, because I think that the culmination or the summary of what is going on, I think it can help people in assessing what are the things that I can take out of this situation in order to improve my life, my mindset, so I can go into the future and do more damage with the time that I have.
All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
No.
I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I'm out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're not pressing up on me.
Yo, we good. I did already. I don't do dick sucking shit.
Put the microphone right down. Right now, I'm going up. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
You just running your mouth.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. It's deeper than that.
That was like this. Yeah. He was holding the microphone like this, nigga. That's the honest to God on everything. Man, I knew that nigga wasn't gonna do nothing. That nigga was shaking like a stripper. He telling Darlene, hey, move over there. Let me get next to this nigga. Man, that's for the internet. So it's either you go or you do something about it. I'm not a tough guy. So I left. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna troll you the whole show. I'm gonna troll you.
If you ain't a tough guy, though, listen, though, this is my whole point. He said he wanted to go out back, bro, right? It's this man's show. But I don't like Antoine Daniels, so I'm already be a bias over it. But I just felt like if he really wanted to do something, he should have just did what the man asked him to do, in my opinion. But I'm glad that
you the whole show.
This is what I was saying. Anton knew what he was doing the entire time. Didn't I say all this?
That was rude. He was rude first. I just went to hell with it.
I tried a ton of AI work tools. Then I tried Monday.com. Game over.
Moments after the almost fist fight between Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb, Anton took to one of his many channels. He's got a group live stream channel by the name of Room 9, where folks get up there and just talk about random situations. And Anton, who was still in LA at this time, you can see he's in his hotel room, wanted to let everybody know his thoughts in regards to the situation. So I want to be able to go in as we continue to analyze the dynamic between the two brothers to provide insight. Let's go.
I'm gonna respect you. Dance around it. Dance around it.
No.
I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I'm out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're not pressing up on me.
We good. I did already. I don't do dick sucking shit.
Put the microphone right down. Right now, I'm going up. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
You just running your mouth.
I'm not.
Okay, here we go. All right, now Anton. Let me move this out the screen right here.
How do I? Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you what was this right here, but before I get into you, Anton, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the perception of it. All right. You can say whatever you want to say. Okay. So the perception of it from a man point of view, this is two men having passionate conversations.
This is one man thinking that he's harder than other, and the other man proving that he's not. And then they then right here.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's
Okay.
deeper than that.
That nigga was like this.
Yeah.
He was holding the microphone like this, nigga. That's
Okay.
the honest to God on everything. That nigga was shaking like a stripper, bro.
Just because you are shaking like that don't mean that no action is about to happen. And in fact, there's probably an adrenaline response.
It's what I'm saying. Like, what are you talking about, Antoine? Antoine don't got like, he trying to win over the crowd, but it's like, if he was shaking or not, he just could have said what he said again when the man was in his face, right? Like, that's been since grade school. You won't say it in my face, you know? So, I mean, at the end of the day, we could take that angle. You didn't say it again in that man's face. So why would he be going out back with you? If you wanted, you should have said it. You should have said it in his face and say, all right, let's go out back. Then that would have, but I ain't trying to advocate. I just really don't like Antoine Daniels, bro. Like, I really don't like the dude. I be trying to say stuff to be respectful, but I don't like nothing about him.
It's actually a healthy response to a degree, because it is your body preparing you for the battle that may ensue. Now, that adrenaline response will make you go back into your monkey brain, right? And to be tunnel vision into a target in front of you. So sometimes your best decisions are not being made when you are encountering or experiencing a high adrenaline response. But that shake generally, that don't mean nothing. I just want to let y'all, as well as Anton, know that.
That nigga was shaking like a stripper.
Just to be partial, that's usually how I act before I hit somebody.
Yeah,
but I see.
Listen.
That's my point.
Right.
I'm not gonna I get real like fidgety, like what the fuck am I about to do?
Yeah.
Listen, bro. Listen.
Okay.
That tough shit. This is what I was taught as I was growing up.
Okay.
You never imply that that's what you're gonna do and don't do it. You never imply that that's what you're gonna do and you don't do it.
He asked you, what you mean what he don't do? He asked, she said, say it again. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This ain't good for Antoine. I mean, he's not winning me over with what he's saying. It's like, he got to talk to people who are just
when I
fans.
pull, I always pop. That's why I'm living today.
I'm keeping it 100.
Yeah, no, that's 100.
You
But
don't ever try to insinuate that that's what you. Nigga, don't switch seats or like it, because.
No,
Go ahead.
No, you right, bro. I'm telling you the perception of it.
Oh yeah, I'm with it.
It in that moment when I seen it, I say that's Corey trying to check Anton's temperature. Because when you got up with him, hey, we can go outside. All right, let's keep the conversation. I ain't gonna win it this way.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base.
So let's take the violence off the table. You had to do that because a nigga like Corey from Chicago was gonna test you in that way because that's not how you present online as tough. So when he said, okay, he do got some man about himself, now let's continue the conversation. This is normal in the wild. Anton, you just left the wild. I'm a hood nigga. I know what it is.
No. That's a perception. Wasn't shit wild in there. If y'all want to know the truth, wasn't shit wild in there. Wasn't nothing popping off. That's why I told the crowd. I said, look, I got security. You got security. Ain't shit happening.
That's a fact.
Now if we, and that's why I was talking about online. I said, now if you want to shoot a fair one, we can shoot a fair one.
Yeah.
We can go and shoot. Bro,
yeah, but y'all was in the middle of a show. If he really wanted to shoot a fair one, y'all could have did that later. All I'm saying is, for him to just walk up and like, let's go outside, bro, y'all doing business. This is this man's show right now. You know what I mean? It's just like, he know he ain't trying to really do nothing either. Both of them are busy, bro. Why are you trying to act like, because you could still shoot him a fade. Like, it wasn't like the man is running his podcast, but you can still, you got up and left. You could still like say, okay, bro, after your show, bro, we can run the fade or something. Or you could have, if you really wanted to prove him that you wanted to do something. I think he didn't want to do anything neither.
I know people don't know this, but that's what I do. I don't talk about it online. I shoot fair ones all the time. Nigga, I got 3 brothers, nephews, friends. Nigga, if we have a problem, we shoot a fair one.
Yeah.
That's not me being tough. I'm not tough.
You not. I don't believe you. And I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe him. I don't believe him, bro. It just seemed like he gotta sell himself too much. He's selling too much. He know that he asked him for the, and he probably got some people that's backing him. Like he asked him for the fade to walk out. Man, this man is working, bro. This man, that was 5150 is his show. He's running a live show right now. Why, you feel me? Like if you not trying to really take it there right here on live so everybody can see, and I'm gonna take and we're gonna do something right here, we might as well not even do it. If we're not gonna do it right here while I'm doing my show, why am I going? What I'm gonna do? But it ain't never too late. You making it seem like you duck the fade when the man working. You put what? Yeah. It is fair game. But that's what I'm saying. He asked them. He say, bro, say it again. Say it again. All you had to do if you really was gonna see if he wanted to do something, all you had to do was just say that one more again right in his face. That would have proved all of us to us that he, but when you didn't say it, and if you ain't gonna say it, then I mean you don't want nothing either. You don't want it.
I'm not none of that shit. If you insinuate that that's what you're gonna do, you gotta go. You gotta go all the way there. You cannot stop. You can't stop. But I seen the bitch in that nigga.
No, the bitch in you. You should have said it. Just like he's saying, right? Listen to what he's saying. He's saying if you gonna say that, look, listen to what he said.
I know people don't know this, but that's what I do. I don't talk about it online. I shoot fair ones all the time, nigga.
So my point is, when you said that, when you say, bro, you suck, whatever, if you was gonna go all the way, since you already said it, say it again. Stand on it. Antoine did not stand on it. He was still saying, I'm gonna be respectful, I'm gonna respect you. And then when the dude, now nobody ain't gonna be with them fighting words with you. If y'all seen, that's what it was. It was like you called the man a D-sucker, but you didn't want to stand on it in front of his face. If you would have stood on it in front of his face, I think he would have slapped you. It didn't look like Corey was playing. Now I don't know, but I don't think he would have just let you say it in his face.
3 brothers, nephews, friends. If we have a problem, we shoot a fair one. Yeah, that's not me being tough. I'm not tough. I'm not none of that shit. If you insinuate that that's what you're gonna do, you gotta go. You gotta go all the way there. You cannot stop.
And that's what you did. You stopped. When he got in your face and say it again, you didn't say it again. But then you say, oh, we can go out back. We can go out back. If you ain't gonna stand on it, what we going out back for? Stand on it. Antoine should have said it again. If he's down to fade and he's down to do all of that, you should have just said it. Don't go afterwards when you ain't gonna say it, and then it's just how I'm feeling. I want to know what y'all think. Yeah, of course, then go ahead. Yeah, I may gotta pull that one up, man. Don G to say facts. That's all I'm saying. I'm just feel like he's saying this man need to go all the way when he asked you to say it again.
You can't stop. But I seen the bitch in that nigga. I seen the bitch in that nigga, and that's why I'm like, oh, this nigga soft.
You see how he trying to talk like he a street nigga now. Bro, you ain't got no streets to you. Why you talking about he soft? You are soft. Just cause you asked the man for a fade now, he think he tough. He want that image. See, back when growing up, he was a cornball. And thankfully, he done came up and now he trying to live a life of, that he got women and he tough. He trying to live that life now, So he like, this nigga soft. Like, bro, you already said you don't hang around nobody that ever been to jail. That's what he said out his own mouth. You don't hang around nobody that been to jail. Now you just fading in the streets like that. You just running fades with people. The type of people you around, it shouldn't be no issues, bro. You don't go to jail. But I don't either. But I'm saying how you talking, bro. Listen what the man's saying.
Okay. All of that chair moving shit, that's performative. Because let me tell you what niggas do when they really doing some shit. They go. They don't say, hey, move out. That's like saying, hold me back. I'm keeping it 100, bro. I'm keeping it 100. Because, man, I knew that nigga.
Now, I got to give him, no, listen. He is saying some truth to this, right? I can attest to this. All right? That's how we was taught. In Florida, we was taught that, I remember they tell us that whenever you see somebody, if somebody say something, it's best to just go up to them and attack before they even know what's going on. That is a strategy that some people use, but some people don't use that strategy. But this ain't in the streets. Y'all dudes is on a podcast. Y'all businessmen with security, you know? So it's like, this is a whole nother situation.
Wasn't gonna do nothing. That nigga was shaking like a stripper. He telling Darlene, hey, move over there. Let me get next to this nigga. That's for the internet. That's straight up for the internet. I never moved. I sat right there, right next to that nigga, and I continued to cook that nigga the whole time. Yeah. The whole time from the start, from that point on, I cooked that nigga. I told that nigga, you a hypocrite. I don't believe you. You keep niggas around you that continue to try to boost you up. That nigga was frustrated. That nigga was frustrated. He the weakest comedian because a nigga couldn't even control his temperature in his own. And I was in his backyard. I'm in LA right now in his spot with his people all around talking to that nigga. Talking to that nigga. Let me tell you, he never coming back from this. That's why I'm telling y'all, whenever his show ends, need to download that shit and never let him forget it, because I don't go based off. That's why I told Mika, right? Because I had Mika with me. And the reason why I brought Mika with me is because I wanted to promote her show and shit. Neither here nor there. I told Mika, I told my security.
I want to promote her show. Why you want to promote her show, bro? Why can't she? What are you doing? See, Corey seen some cornball stuff already that he owned. Like, Rodney King can all get along. I was taught, don't argue, make them quit. If that's what I feel needs to happen. Yeah.
And I told somebody else, I said, I'm not doing nobody else's platform unless it's going to be face to face. I told a Millionaire Morning Show that. Because everybody talk a good game until you right there in front of them. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. That's not even a tall nigga like that. He not even big like that. Nigga fat as fuck. Like, he not fit. Like, I'm not.
You ain't fit. Little sloppy body. Man, what is he talking about, bro? Now you body watching men. You around here body watching the man. Listen to this lame stuff.
Not the fittest nigga, but I'm a regular person, right? I'm not overweight, I'm not crazy and none of that shit like that. Like, I'm a regular nigga. He not tall, he not fit. The nigga walked in wheezing. Man, bro, I was fully confident that nigga was going out. Fully confident. All of that tough shit, all of it, having the cameras pan up to you like this and shit to make you bigger than what you really are. I'm not.
Go shoot him,
I don't mess with that shit, bro.
The more that I listen to this, the more that I think that reconciliation will be impossible. Never.
It may be impossible, but you can still go shoot him the fade. You doing a lot of rapping, bro. We may need to do a celebrity match. I don't think Antoine can whoop Corey. I will put my money on Corey. Just off of I don't know. Maybe I don't even like. It's like, how you look like that and you gonna try to body shame somebody else. Yeah, man. Antoine is a puppet. It's a Muppet face crying. All he had to do is say it again. That's all you had to do was say it again. I'm with you, La. You, if you really forget going out back, we want to see it. Do it for the camera. Say it again. Stand on it. I'm sure you probably would have got slapped. Antoine would never. He wanted Corey to hear him, so he could sue. That's what I'm saying. I just don't like the narrative that if a man come in your face and tell you to say it again, from what you just said earlier when he was sitting over there, he come to your face and say it again, and you don't say it. You like, oh man, you know what? It's your show. I ain't gonna disrespect you. Like, okay, you can have that, and then you like, okay, we can go out back. It's like, you put, I'm going to pass on this beef. I'm gonna pass too on it because I already got a bias. I don't really got nothing against Corey. He's a comedian, but I truly I don't like nothing about Antoine Daniels, bro. Black Boy Wonder, what's good, fam? I don't know, man. We got FBAs all overseas, everywhere you go, man. Every state, every country. Me too, I pass. Yeah, Antoine on tour body. He think this gives him some street credibility. Like he think you don't get no credibility from this, man. No credibility. I'm from Detroit, by the way. Black bottom baby. For real, Antoine's a big coon. He would have cried and Sue Curry. Something would have happened, man. But I don't think he running with this. He running with this because he didn't go out back with him. But it's all good. It's all good, man. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Let me address some of Anton's points right here. Listen, and I don't know Anton personally, so I don't know if he's shooting fair ones all of the time, like what he's saying. However, friends, family shooting fair ones, which is something I've encountered. I don't do that all the time, but I got a couple of my best friends. Yeah, sometimes we get there. And it has turned into a brouhaha where we dap and we shake hands at the end of it, and then we move on to bigger and better things. But to Anton's credit, the idea of only doing right things on other people's platforms because they are live, I think is genius. I think it's a brilliant kind of boundary that you set for yourself because, the internet conversation is one thing. The real life conversation is going to be a completely different thing. But doing so and going into a battleground is what this is. And by battleground, I mean their points and perspectives. Like they knew what they were going to talk about. They knew it was going to be a debate, and they know a little bit, at least enough about each other to know that it might get live, it might get spirited. Okay. So you need to go into that situation, right? If you're smart about it, if you're strategic about it, with some sort of protection, right? Whether it be friends, family, or Anton apparently pays for a security guard. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies.
I met Son too.
Why is everyone using Ninja Transfers?
Ninja Transfers.
That's a hell of a solid individual.
Definitely killing them.
Understands how the internet works, knows that the bag is going to be a lot more achieved if he can rage bait or get a reaction out of somebody. Did he intend for that to happen? I don't think so. I just think at the point of you kiss white man's ass, it went to a level where Anton said, I'm going to burn the whole place down. And
that's what I'm saying. I ain't like about that. It's like he talking about he put black people in that, because just answer for what the man said. The man, you always shitting on black people. You never talking about white fatigue, so you're supposed to know how to handle that situation. Yeah. You waking up by the thousands now, more than ever. No more sheep wool. Oh yeah, we waking up, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to Corey, bro. Black boy wanted to put click that. That's fact. I've had to move some furniture. Yeah, man, it's all, all I'm saying is, it happens sometimes. Detroit Cats hooked in with Oakland tough. I heard about that, man. We need to all be clicked up with each other the long way. The Dave Chappelle comment was priceless. Corey had to admit he lied. Yeah. I don't know why I'm so biased in this situation on like, as soon as when y'all told me about it in the chat, I already was like, I can't stand Antoine, bro. I can't wait for I can catch some content. He say something and really call him out and cancel him. For real. And I got something too from what he said about reparations, but I dislike that dude. But yeah, man. Y'all know how we do. To me, Corey can hold his L. He do need his butt whooped, bro, to get checked, bro. I really hope, you know what I'm saying, somebody can get his mind right. I really do. Yeah, he making that pay. He started putting out a lot of content, He took off with that content stuff. But he also got them people in his pocket. He loved them, like he don't talk nothing about the Caucasian community at all. So he got some kind of alliance. He definitely got an alliance with them people. But the Tethers is coming up. Yo, bro, this a way God is exposing the weak and the fake spiritual warfare. Okay. Yeah, his content is trash, Mickey. Yeah. He don't have the spirit of our ancestors. Like, if you hear Antoine talk, you don't hear like no ancestral. It don't connect. Yeah, they only pay coon. Right. Nah, he not us. He's a Tether. He talk. He's stealing talking points from Charlie Kirk. Yeah, man, he a Tether. He definitely a Tether. But his little outburst with Corey went viral, man. No, don't tell me the lead attorney of Tether, man. No, man, I rock with bro. Once Corey stood over him and asserted dominance, it was over for me. 313, ain't that Detroit area code? That's Detroit area code is 313. I remember, man, I used to when I was in college, I had a partner, he was from Detroit. And I remember that area code. It's crazy. So I know 313 Joey. I know what you call him 313. Yeah, he used to call me from the 313. I'd be like, Detroit, man. Okay, you been 313. Okay. Yeah, man. That's how I know, the cities and the people, man. Because back in my day, man, when I was in, I just knew y'all by y'all area codes. From who came to the college down here in Florida. People came from everywhere down here to Florida, especially go to a black college. Born and raised, what up, though? Salute. That's y'all slang. I like that. What up, though? That's that Detroit for real. Y'all the only ones that I heard that from. Like you from Detroit when you be like, what up, though? That's dope. Allegedly, Antoine is locked in with Pearl's father, who is a business executive with Pool, major social media company. Allegedly, Tommy used Pearl's father to get unbanned from social media. Damn, they don't play with me. You dropping bombs on me. But shout out Travis Goldsman. Tapping in. We got to start checking people's paperwork now. Yeah, Mr. Lawrence, you're right. Gotta have a paperwork check, man. We got to have a paperwork check. Fun fact, Detroit's legacy 313 area code was created in 1947. Dang, that was right before the Little Hats created their thing. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Corey. Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, that's two totally different. I seen how Corey looked when he said that. Like, if you watched it, he was like, man, Corey, I believe he was ready to get violent. He was trying to hold himself back, in my opinion. But did you see Holly Berry cook that meal? She's not FBA either. Are you ready to get people out of here that ain't FBA? Only way is paperwork. You gotta have paperwork parties. Paperwork parties. I was just asking my grandma, like, what's going like? And our grandparents be knowing they didn't know nothing about Africa. They were saying Indian, American, and tribes. They was all on tribes. Right. Sooner when they say it again, it's go time right there. You either gonna say it again and shoot the fade right there, or you're gonna try to seize it, calm it down. And I think saying going out back and trying to take it way over here, I think, y'all would have ended up talking. Somebody would have ended up coming in like, it works for them, huh? I can only imagine, man. I never been to Detroit, bro. I've never been to Detroit. Shout out, I'm from Detroit too, with family in Florida. Okay. Yeah, man. But it's different. Yeah, that's what people be saying about Florida. People be saying, like, man, it's different here when they come here. Because Florida got the most people that's not from Florida that come here. Like, everybody done touched down to Florida before. So it's like, and they put us in the national news so much, bro. It's like, I don't know what's the problem with it. But that's what people say about Florida. They saying it's real different. But you'll have fun. I mean, I remember watching the movie about Detroit. It looked fun, man. It just seemed like I seen a lot of trailer parks and stuff on the TV. I mean, I wasn't there. For real, that's why we get a bad rap in Florida, bro. I be saying, like, Florida, we be having some of the crazy. I be like, man, why they had to be from Florida to make us look like we just don't got no sense? That's how California is, right? It's certain hubs where like I know in that Midwest, we know, Chicago, Detroit, but as far as a state, when you talk about states, it's like California, you think of somewhere it's crazy. New York, we don't think of, like, nobody's gonna say Michigan is crazy. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna say Illinois. You can't say Illinois is crazy, but you mostly think of Chicago. But when you're talking about states, like, I'm on the top of Florida, but I lived in the top, the middle, the South. I grew up in the South. And, like, Florida, all the way around Florida is like, it's crazy. Tampa, wow. It's just like everything is kind of like, I could say Miami and South Florida a little different, but it's kind of the same thing. It's the same craziness. But when you think of Michigan, I don't think of Michigan like California or Florida. Not even New York. I wouldn't even say New York like that. I think California got that trope too. Like, California, I think of, it's crazy. Crazy state. Yeah, Detroit is a get money city now, That's what I was definitely taught from my homie that's from Detroit. Yeah, his name was Chris, man. He was from Detroit. He used to tell me about Detroit. He was telling me how, like, they used to build cars and stuff. Yeah, Florida, we chase the bag down here, man. Most definitely. Their women come here and make us look bad too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people come to Florida and it don't even be people from Florida you be seeing on the news. It be a lot of people from somewhere else, but they're like, you think our black women ain't got no ass at all. Man, they come here for our woman, man. People come to Florida. Florida women and California women are probably the most, like, people come here. Motor City, yeah, man. Shout out to Detroit, bro. Y'all got some solid ones out there. And California too, man. Oakland. Oakland got history like Detroit. Detroit, Oakland. It's like soul cities, Washington, D.C. It's like a soul city. MTR, we get it. Don't be a simp. but I'm turning in my man woman hater club. I like the lady. Yeah, man. I mean, I would hate to have to be always pushing out content like that. Like, you gotta school the women that's, you can't school. It's hard for me to feel like you're gonna just school people like that. You put no, they don't, bro. I lived in Jacksonville. Nothing pops. What you mean nothing pops? Just thought about it. Tethers did invent something with the lace front. Yeah, Harlem was like a soul city too. Harlem, New Orleans, Memphis. These are like soul cities, like, you know, like it got our soul in it. I would say Harlem. Yeah. Texas up there with the women too, but yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Black folks in Jackson stuck in the 70s. Yeah, I mean, they don't have much immigrants. It's starting to come a little bit, but they don't have to deal with, it's mainly like black and white up in North Florida. So it is a little outdated, Salute, Corey. I appreciate you, family. For that super sticker, bro. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how every area got their own specific accent. You know how they talk, how people appreciate you, bro. But yeah, man, we got the 313 in the building tonight, though. We got all y'all, man. Miss Mickey, everybody in the building from 313. Bronx and Harlem full of immigrants now. That's what I'm saying, man. New York is getting to where it's like, dang. New York is getting to where, bro, it ain't had that soul like back in the day. New York had soul. Mm-hmm. Different dialects, same language. Salute, man. Salute, fam. Man, I appreciate y'all. If y'all ain't on the Discord, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in right now. Let's see. I'm gonna put it in there tomorrow, man. Let me put it in there tomorrow. NY is all immigrants right now. It is. It's all immigrants, man. Cyberdon. I appreciate it, man. Always standing on business. So y'all, my schedule is gonna be Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Those gonna be the for sure days. I still may just get on and kick it with y'all, but those are the days that I know for sure I'm gonna be on. Put it in my schedule. But yeah, man, y'all know how we do, man. We want to make sure we are patronizing FBA businesses. Spread the word on that. You should be going out your way to patronize FBA businesses so we can make sure that we always gonna have employment and our people are employed. Because everybody is spending with their own, they're spending with their own. They want to have their own malls and everything like the Somalian people in Minnesota. They don't want to go to FBA businesses. So if you're not going to FBA businesses, it's hurting us. If you're spending your dollars outside of people, it's hurting us, bro. Because nobody else is going, we all we got. So I just want y'all, we got to keep pushing that mindset, man. Shout out to Travis, bro. A little something for the algorithm. Appreciate it, man. Listen, much appreciated, man, because I got some things I want to do. I don't want to push it all on the internet, but I appreciate y'all and I want y'all to stay in this place so we can exchange ideas and get some things moving. Because on this channel, we're about action. You know what I mean? We got too much. I be going over too much of our ancestors really standing on business. So great minds think alike. Real talk, man. I love and appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already subscribed. We going live tomorrow. We're going to be standing on the business. And we always patronizing us. We all we got. We all we got. So, man, I love and appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love.